Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to UTAS Stadium in the fourth game that we've had today at this wonderful ground, all grand finals, and this is the Premier Division grand final in the NTFA between Hillwood and Rochalee. Rochalee were here last year, the Battle of the Tigers, and it was Longford who got up. Rochalee have found their way back into another grand final. They'll be hoping to turn that result right around. Rick Fontaine will join me in commentary after his official duties out on the ground. And joining us in commentary this afternoon in special comments, Rob Soward, who did a wonderful job of the reserves grand final in which Longford got up and won. Rob, welcome to you again. And this game will prove to be, I think, a fantastic contest because Hillwood have been terrific all year and Rochalee have had to come through and sort of almost do it the hard way.
Yeah, thanks very much, Michael, and good afternoon to you. And again, for our listeners, happy birthday to you on your special day. But what a day, what a week it's been. I know last week when we were here, the build-up to today, it was just like Christmas. I couldn't wait. Two fantastic sides, as you've said. Hillwood winning through the second semi, Rochalee coming through the hard way, but ominously destroyed South Launceston last week. And I guess for mine, and we were talking about this off air earlier, it's all the subplots, it's all the interwoven fabric that makes this game so special. You've got the two coaches of these sides today were teammates here on this very ground for North Launceston back in the day in the TSL Premiership players. Today they're mortal enemies. You've got Jake Pearce, the coach we've mentioned, his dad Max Pearce. Jake would have been along as a young boy to watch Max play in Premiership sides and coach at Hillwood. So there's just so much exciting stuff today, and like you and like Rick, I can't wait till the ball's bounced.
Fantastic to hear. Rick Fontaine is just about ready to go as Hillwood make their way just a little bit closer, as you can see just on the right of screen, the Hillwood Sharks and the Rochalee Tigers. Here we go with Rick Fontaine.
Okay, thanks very much, everyone. Now, great pleasure to introduce a couple of club legends from their respective clubs to come out onto UTAS Stadium now with the 2023 NTFA Premiership Cup. Would you please put your hands together and welcome, firstly, from Hillwood, Graham Jarman. And Graham is joined by another legend from the Rochalee Football Club. Please welcome Brian Bell. Fabulous. Thanks very much, Graham. Thank you, Brian. We'll get you guys to join in the line. And it's now a great pleasure to welcome a great supporter of the NTFA, Jeremy Wilkinson from Harcourts Launceston, one of our great sponsors this year and last year as well. We'll get you to go forward for the coin toss, and I'll invite the two captains, please, to come forward, Zach Oldenoff from Hillwood and Luke Richards from Rochalee. It'll be Hillwood's call as the first team into the grand final. So, Zach, your call. Tails is the call. Lovely coin toss, Jeremy. Tails it is, and Hillwood will kick to the city end in the first quarter. Ladies and gentlemen, if I could ask you now all please to be upstanding if you're able. Firstly for the Welcome to Country, to be followed by the National Anthem.
Ligina Lutruwita. For thousands of years, Aborigines have remained connected to country. Our old people harvested the land, our warriors hunted a landscape shaped by traditional fire, and our women gathered resources to provide for their family group. Back then, we walked the many tracks across the northern Midlands that led us to the head of the Cunnamalooka Tamar River. Today, those tracks are lined by buildings, and the landscape, once adorned by trees and grassy plains, are fewer. Warranta Lumi. We are here. Our culture is alive.
Australians, all let us rejoice, for we are one and free, with golden soil and wealth for toil. Our home is good by sea. Our land abounds in nature's gifts of beauty, rich and rare. In history's page, let every sage advance Australia fair. In joyful strains, then let us sing, advance Australia fair.
There we have it, all in readiness for the grand final. Live at UTAS Stadium and being live streamed through Roundtable Studios and being sponsored today by Jeremy Wilkinson from Harcourts Launceston, the Tasmanian Agent of the Year, 5 years running, Murdoch Clark Mortgage Fund, Launceston and Hobart, and the Athlete's Foot in Brisbane Street, Launceston. So players just do their final warm-ups as they move through. So Hillwood defeated South Launceston by 21 points in the second semi, as Rob said, to go straight through to the grand final. Rocherlee taking a longer route to the grand final, beaten by South in the qualifying final by 16 points. Defeated last year's premiers Longford in a redemption game of sorts in the first semi by 26 points. Then an upset spanking of South Launceston by 35 points in the prelim to make it here to the grand final. They will want a real shot at a premiership. They've got some star players through their whole side. Rob Soward and Luke Richards, and of course the number 9 Jordan Cousins, unlucky not to win the medal last year, but Michael Larby was fantastic in a winning side. They've got goal kickers in Zane Brown. Cousins himself kicked 27 goals. So they've got some really good players and a father-son combination playing today. Can you elaborate on that for us?
Yeah, how exciting. I mean, something that makes community football special. Josh Holton, Michael, and I know we talked off air, Josh needs 2 goals to reach 1,000 goals in senior football, and he's number 1 for Rocherlee. Well, the exciting thing is his son, Lockie Holton, number 25, is playing alongside him today. So another little bit of intrigue. But as you've said with this Rocherlee side, and I was talking to some Rocherlee supporters downstairs earlier, they see this as almost as I do, it's almost like 2 different styles. Hillwood, probably this ground suits them, the big ground with their running, aerobic capacity they have. But Rocherlee have just got that smattering of match winners, as you've highlighted. You know, blokes like Zane Brown, blokes like Ponting, blokes like Cousins can just win the ball off their own boot. So there is those 2 different sort of styles. But an exciting moment for the Holton family today. I mean, how proud would you be? The young fella, you know, would have come along watching Dad at the footy. Today he's playing on the biggest stage there is in the NTFA. Absolutely magnificent. So for Hillwood, Ben Hyatt with his 33 goals this year, Archie Wilkinson 55 as the season has continued to go on, and as Rob said, Jake Pearce the captain, Jake Pearce the coach I should say, Josh Ponting the coach of Rocherlee. And they've got stars on every line. Of course, Zach Oldenhoff from the North Launceston Football Club, being a real stalwart there. So some names in there when you look at Leadham and Warren and these sorts of players, just brilliant to see. And as we mentioned, the toss of the coin and Hillwood winning that and kicking to the right of screen to the city end in this first quarter. This is the 2023 NTFA Premier Division Grand Final. Hope you enjoy the call this afternoon wherever you might be, and it might be in the morning somewhere, it might be late at night around the world, but if you're tuning in, make sure you get on to the NTFA Facebook page and on the live stream page, and just give us a shout out, because we love to know where you're watching the game from, because it can go global, as we all know. Players making their way into their positions. Crowd is nervous, one would think. It'd be extremely nervous if you were Hillwood, their last premiership in 2019.
Rochalee their last flag in 2016. So it's been a little while for these teams. Not so much Hillwood, but Rochalee would love to get a premiership. And they've waited for a little while. So we're just about ready to go. Rick Fontaine is just trying to draw breath as he's come up from downstairs. And there's a little bit of stuff happening in Hillwood's forward line, but that's okay. The umpires have got that sorted out. We're almost ready to go in the grand final. Umpire holds the ball aloft, and here we go. The 2023 NTFA Premier League Grand Final. And Hamish Leadham, the man in the ruck, and of course Brian Leadham. What a great footballer Brian Leadham was. Played with North Launceston and also Latrobe. Snaggers, the old nickname for Brian Leadham. And there is another ball up in the centre of the ground. So it'll take a little while before this one really gets motivated. Just need to get it out of the square if they can. Quick little kick out. That was nicely done by Jake Smith of Rochalee. But here they go through Bailey Wells. Wells, no mark taken by Cox Goodger. Now away it goes. Little handball over the top. Opportunity on the left boot. It's bouncing. That was Jack Rushton. And he rushed the kick a little bit, you would have to say. But Rochalee on the board in the grand final. Of course, that breeze is blowing to the city end. And Rick Fontaine, you've been right out in the middle of it. Might be 2 or 3 goals or more.
Yeah, thanks, Michael. I think at least 3 goals. It seems to have picked up a little bit. The showers are keeping away, but certainly the advantage to which Hillwood are kicking in the opening term as the ball goes over and out. Jordan Cousins has won the MVP a little earlier in the last few weeks. Tomorrow being the best and fairest count for the NTFA Premier Division, no doubt certainly be up in the votes as well. So boundary throw in about 70 metres around from the Rochalee goal. They're heading to the northern end of the first quarter. The ball goes inside 50, looking to clean it up there. Nice little handball over the top by Jacob Boyd. In short, they come out neatly, and the mark is taken. Quickly playing on there, Angus Jeffries. It's going to be chopped off, and a nice mark there by Blake Pike. He'll go further across the ground on the railway side there. Looks for and finds his teammate in Stone. Plenty of time. He goes short with a little 20-metre kick as well, and working his way to the front and taking a very nice mark there for Rochalee on the outer side is Pitcher. So Braden Pitcher on the true centre wing position. Railway side of UTAS Stadium with the left. Kicks to around 55 out up high, and a terrific mark there by Dakota Bannister. So Bannister looking for options inside 50. He'll centre it up towards a square. Quick snap from the danger man, Brown. Play on, says the umpire. And he's going to have to come in and ball it up right next to the behind post. So Rob Soward, one to watch out for, number 15, Zane Brown. He has had a tremendous final series. I think 9 goals in the last couple of games. Yeah,
he's a super confidence player, Zane Brown, and he's a massive excitement machine. And if he gets going, look out the Sharks.
Jack Tuttle's little short kick finds Isaac Thompson, who goes on with play and then finds his teammate in Digney. Digney gets the kick away, but it's just rolling out of play. And a boundary throw in. So use of football is so important, and it's we've seen that all day in this NTFA Grand Final series in the Premier League today. And back it comes. So Hillwood, the Sharks, in attack. Cousins out of the ruck. Nice little hook kick out of there by Jake Smith. Cox Goodger. Beautiful pinpoint kick. That is terrific. Finds Bannister. Bannister goes out wide. That's kick. It's got a little bit of hang time on it, but it might be okay towards Pitcher. Pitcher's got to try and get away. Fends off. I think you're gone. You're gone. When you fend and you get tackled, your history. And Blaisley got him. Just getting a few grand final nerves out of the way. This Pitcher couldn't use his strength to full advantage there. Goes in short. And finds Templar. Templar, he has another little one on short. That's Oldenhoff. Oldenhoff goes, and the kick is pinpoint and finds his man in Ben Hyatt. And we know Hyatt has kicked goals this year, 33 of them. And he'll have a shot from about 40 metres out, slight angle. And that's where you want him if you're a forward, Rob Soward.
Oh, look, couldn't get better delivery than that. That was just picture perfect there to Hyatt. So he'll be looking to convert and get the Sharks on the board.
Ben Hyatt. It's a tricky breeze. He'll go left to right. He's gone a little bit too far left. Almost the mark. Has it been taken? I think it has. That's been paid to Archie Wilkinson, another man who's kicked plenty of goals this year. 55 of them as we speak. And he just turns that round the corner. And Hillwood get the first goal of the 2023 Grand Final. And then he complained to the umpire that someone gave him a clip, and that might have been Jordan Cousins on the way through. But he's got the goal. Don't get it taken off you. And it is Hillwood. 1 goal straight, 6 Rocher-Lee, 1 behind, Rob Soward.
That's just a great example of Hillwood's ability to spread the ground, Michael, and real rewarded there for effort. Just one thing very, very quickly. You made the excellent point that it's been a little while between drinks for flags for these sides. I'm going to throw some names out there for you for Hillwood. Jack Tuthill, Jacob Boyd, Hamish Leedham. Launceston premiership players down there. Jake Smith and Braden Pitcher for Rocher-Lee. So I'm sure Mitch Thorpe would be happy to have all of those 5 back on his list at Launceston.
Angus Jeffries brings them back into the 50. Lovely little handball there from Wilkinson. Didn't quite hit the mark. Rushed kick out. There's a little opportunity here. Can't get to it first. Was Tuthill. Here's Leedham with the handball. They're going to come inside 50 again. And all alone, taking the mark for Hillwood is Isaac Thompson. And he is directly in front. He'll kick from about 45 out. Distance shouldn't be a problem. Kicking with the aid of about a 3-goal breeze in this first quarter. The windsock blowing to the city end here at UTAS Stadium. Isaac Thompson has had a terrific season for the Sharks. Moves in. Lovely kicking action and makes no mistake. 2 goals in a minute to Hillwood, and the Sharks move to 2 straight 12. 6.5 minutes played in the opening quarter. Rocher-Lee 1 behind.
Couldn't get a better start if you're a Hillwood supporter, but as you made that excellent point, Rick, it's a strong breeze, so you'd certainly want to be taking advantage of it because that's been critical in the previous games today. But Hillwood's transition and movement of the ball forward would be causing Rocher-Lee some problems, that's for sure. So be interested to see how they adjust.
So Hillwood by 11 points. The goal kickers Wilkinson and Thompson. After Rocher-Lee did a little bit early attacking, but they couldn't score. Back in the middle, Leedham and Bannister. Leedham clearly out. Little handball came out there from Angus Jeffries. Now to Thompson, who kicked the last goal. On his right, this is on his left. Wilkinson's been held by the jumper. You can see the little jumper tug there. And his opponent there is Luke Purden. And I reckon he might just have the journey here, Wilkinson. His ball's a little bit slippery. There was a scuffling little shower earlier. And here we are. Just have a look at the jumper. It's got a piece of the jumper at the back. There you go. Wonderful replay by Roundtable. Here we go with Archie Wilkinson from the paint of 50. Hoists it high. It's moving back. It's curling. It's his second. And he says to his teammates, come on, get around me. I've dobbed through a couple, and they've got 3 now, Hillwood. What a dream start to the grand final for them. 3 goals straight, 18. Rocher-Lee just the 1 behind.
Rocher-Lee just need to get their hands on the footy. They need to steady down and settle down. There's plenty of time. It's early doors, but you just can't give a side a start like this. Yep, they've got the breeze. So there's the 3 goals that Rick Fontaine referenced. So let's just see what Rocher-Lee have got in reserve. We haven't called the name Ponting, I don't think, as much yet. And looking over there, it looks like he's got Tuthill standing him. So that'll be an interesting matchup.
Getting a lot out of Leedham in the centre. He's up against Bannister. Leedham gets a tap again, but Shark not quite able to take it away. But Bannister dodges and weaves, and he'll belt it inside 50. Pretty good purchase on that. Down there towards centre half back. Here's a chance. Ponting, Brown. Oh, gee, play for hold. There's not a lot in that. But the free kick will go the way of Zane Brown. And this guy's a beautiful kick of the ball. He's going to kick from just over 40 metres out. So it's going to be a test for him. Here's the replay coming up. Let's have a look here. And gee, not a whole lot in that.
Looks like he's been up in the bush for 6 weeks logging.
Here he is, number 15. As we said, he's been in great form. Zane Brown from about 45. Gives it everything. It's across the face of goal. and just over Leadham's head for a behind. So Rochalee with a couple of behinds. 9 minutes played, almost 9.5 minutes in the opening term. It's Hillwood 3 straight, Rochalee 2 behinds.
Just a bit of a hook on that from Brown. And it is difficult to kick goals from that end. A little short kick is okay and finds Jeffries. Jeffries goes in short. And that's all right, and finds Sam Hoffman. A little kick. Might need to be cleaned up by Purdon. Just overran the footy. Goes in with a tackle. Might have been a push. So the free kick will go to Mitch Donnelly. So Donnelly's got it for Hillwood. Just on the outer side wing. Called the play on. Decided against going the long kick, and the worm-burning left footer was not much good. But it might still work out okay. Get a tackle there on Zach Camplin. And that ball just rolls its way out of play. We've been going 10 minutes in the grand final, and Hillwood, the dream start, 2 to Wilkinson, 1 to Thompson. They're 3 straight 18 to Rochalee, just a couple of behinds.
Wilkinson coming in under an injury cloud, rolled his ankle late in that second semi-final as well, but moving well, doesn't seem to have any strapping, and as Michael Maney said, a dream start. They come inside 50 again. Good defensive work playing in front there. Blake Pike will get the... Hang on, it's going the other way. It's like a hold that's being paid. He was in front. It's going to go the way of Hillwood. Ben Hyatt's going to take the resulting free kick. Let's have a look here on the replay, thanks to Roundtable Studio. So, Hyatt, from about 45 out. Left half forward. Slow approach. Works around now on the arc, and he's hooked that one for a behind. So their first blemish of the afternoon. 11.5 played in the opening term of the 2023 NTFA Premier Division Grand Final. Brought to you by Jeremy Wilkinson, Harcourt's Launceston Tasmanian Agent of the Year for 5 years running. It's Hillwood leading by 17 points.
Skipper Richards with the kicking in duties. Not quite sure where to go. Almost got into trouble, but gee, that's a punchy good kick into the breeze. Lead him at the front.
Hasn't he started well?
He has. He's got that height advantage. Away he goes to a teammate in Boyd. High ball. Mark! Taken. Terrific stuff. And that mark has been taken by Nash Digney. Nice, clean hands, and that's where Hillwood have been so far in this game. They've been so clean. Have a look at this for a mark, Rob.
It's a terrific mark. He read it well, Digney, but he ran to that contest. I watched him over here earlier. Got himself to that contest when the ball came in.
Digney to take it out to 23 points. From straight in front. It is a 23-point margin in the grand final. Nash Digney gets his first, and they've got 4 on the board in the blink of an eye at the 12.5-minute mark. So it is 4-1-25 Hillwood. Rochalee just the 2 behinds. And is that bell ringing, Rob Soward?
Yeah, the bell should be ringing because that's they're just looking dangerous. Every time they spread to go Hillwood, they've got options galore. You referenced Hamish Leadham, won the Development League Best and Fairest for the statewide league, I think about 4 years ago. Very talented ruckman. Look, he's owning it at the moment against Dakota Bannister, who was absolutely fantastic last week against South. So they need to start winning the clearances, Rochalee, and they need a goal.
All right, back in the centre. They need to arrest this trend, Rochalee, and as Rob Soward mentioned, got to get their hands on the ball. And this may be their opportunities. They come inside 50, neat kick. No mark taken. Chance now for Rushton. Handballs over the top. He'll get this one back. No, misses the mark. Cousins is there, but so's Bannister. Bannister breaks through well. It's going to be repelled, and the mark taken by Miller. Tyson Miller, deep into Hillwood's defence, will kick to the grandstand side. Good kick. Mark unable to be taken there by Wilkinson up the ground. And right in front of the Rochalee supporters. They're boisterous, as you can hear in the effects mic. Here's Cousins. Bannister with brute strength from 50. Kicks it up to the teeth of goal. And it's going to beat Josh Holton and go out of bounds. And we're hearing that this might be the 35-year-old's last game. Josh Holton Wouldn't he love a premiership medallion? He's been a great player. Greetings to Mark Webb, who's watching from Townsville this afternoon. Good to have you on board. Plenty of people watching the grand final. Boundary throw in. Bannister reaches over the top. Brown looked to burst through. Handball, they've done this well. Hillwood, as they come out, misses the mark, and it's going to go out of bounds about 70 away from the Rochalee goal, kicking to the northern end, or maybe we should say the Rochalee end in the first quarter.
Yes, Bannister's been pretty good for them. He needs a bit of chop out from Cousins, who hasn't had his hands on the ball too much. So they haven't been able to really scrap it around the centre half. There's Cousins wanting to knock it on. Might have been a high one there on Mitch Donnelly. And that free kick was there. So Donnelly, what's he got? Goes in short to Taylor. Taylor takes the mark between the wing and half back. Taylor goes to the wing true and just backing back. And I thought that was
that's a good decision.
Really a good mark from Taylor Stone. Copped a little bit on the way back, but went back without any fear. Stone in short, that's okay, and finds his teammate in Jake Smith, who goes to Ponting, whose first real effective possession, I think, for Josh Ponting. He wore number 2 last year, so he's got the number 6 this year. He's gone for a big torp, and that's carried on the breeze a long, long way. But Hillwood will come out of trouble. The kick was a bit overcooked. Now here's a bit of a race for Lachlan Holton. Now flicks over the back, nicely done to Bassett. Bassett goes in short, and there's our man in Zane Brown. Goes short, terrific kick. And now Caden Cox-Goodger has got it, and he's just saying, settle down. I'm going to have a bit of a ping at this. But he's got to get it at least straight so we can get it to the 10-metre square.
Tell you what, if he's got his brother's leg, he'll have no trouble. It'll land at Newnham, I reckon.
Right, I'm sure Brad's probably here somewhere watching today before their big preliminary final tomorrow at the same ground.
Just back him in, Rob. He's got a fair piece of it, but the wind's got a fair bit of it as well. And you can see that it's sort of blowing mainly across breeze at the moment. Tony Davenport watching from Melbourne. So good on you, Tony. Nice to have you tuning in. And the free kick back there now will go to Tyson Miller. And Rick, with someone from London.
Yeah, Zach Griffiths watching from London. Any update on Oldenoff? Looking like he went down with an ankle, so we'll keep an eye on that.
It's a great point. I actually was just watching Oldenoff. He's trying to run it off at the moment, or he was trying to run it off. He's standing down there on the sidelines at the moment.
So we'll keep an eye on him. But the skipper, gee, what a family history. Zach and his father, Tim, of course, was a terrific player. And then his father, Johnny Oldenoff, grandfather to Zach, outstanding footballer. So good bloodlines. Boundary throw in on the railway side. A bit of a sweeping shower hitting the stadium at the moment. Here's Leadham. Jeffries, he's made a bright start for Hillwood too. Sorry, the whistle's gone. It's going to be a free kick. Might be coming back here to Angus Jeffries for a hold. So he's had a big year. Of course, he was initially signed by Georgetown, and he's ended up at Hillwood and playing in a grand final. And that ball's not coming out. So we'll get a little bit of a stalemate the last couple of minutes. About 60 around from the Hillwood goal. A few spectators run for cover. It's a very, very healthy crowd. Always a bit difficult to see here at UTAS Stadium, but it is a very good crowd. Of course, we've had 8 clubs in action over the course of the day. It's been terrific, and there's a great mark. And it's taken by Taylor. So Alistair Taylor takes the mouth guard out, which signifies, I reckon, he's going to have a shot here. Alistair Taylor, he'll kick from probably just outside 50. Big breeze at his back. Decent run up as well as he makes his way in. Taylor. He's given it a little bit too much oomph. It's away to the right of the goal umpire and a behind. So they're 4-2-26 now, Hillwood. An even 4-goal lead over Rochalee. Approaching time on in the first quarter.
19 minutes gone, and watching from New Zealand, Justin Harper. Good that you're on board. And watching from Boston, Debbie Templar.
Great part of the world, Boston.
And Chris Saunders from Perth.
Wow.
So we're racking them up. We're everywhere in this grand final. But Hillwood And that'll be a free kick. It'll go to Jeffries, I think.
I wonder if there's a few watching from Hillwood and Rochalee today, because I actually reckon a lot of them, the majority of them are probably here this afternoon. But if you are, send us a message. Love to hear from you.
Heavily disguised as Boyd. Boyd goes inside 50. They fly. Who's at the coalface? Little handball over the top. Nicely done by Tuttle. Another one out. Jeffries, left footer. Almost Hyatt. Well done by Richards. Cleared the area. But the mark has been taken. That is so well done by Blaisley. So Blaisley's got the mark right in front of the interchange gates and just spins it back toward Boyd. Boyd goes out wide. Saw a teammate in a bit of space and found him, and that's McLean. So McLean just got to wait and prop, and then he finds his teammate in Camplin.
So Camplin on the left, kicks it to about 20 out. First grab there was Wilkinson, couldn't hold on to it. Quick kick away, now the race is on. 2 on 1, here's a chance for Tuttle with a banana. It just goes to the wrong side of the post and through for a behind. So it's Hillwood peppering away here, 4-3-27. Rob Soward leading Rochalee 2 behinds.
Yeah, they're just looking super dangerous. Their ball movement is this stage is outstanding. Rochalee just can't string a passage together to their liking.
So Josh Ponting deep in Rochalee's defence to the grandstand side. A little bit of a shove in the back, not seen. Here's Bannister, gets a quick handball away there to Pitcher to centre wing. Over the back now, chance good, immediately tackled by Blaisley, and that's a throw. Gee, started well, Mac Blaisley on the NTFA footy show. You say head groundsman groundsman at Launceston Golf Club. So he'd be pretty impressed with how he's seeing UTAS Stadium at the moment as well. Now here's a chance for Caden Cox-Goodger. Brown, neat handball there to Pitcher. Scrubby kick, but they got the loose man. Here's a chance. Oh, it's a horrible kick. And lucky to score a behind. And that came off the boot. I think it might have been Caden Cox-Goodger there on the left. So another behind for Rochalee. Gee, they'd love a goal here.
It's a golden opportunity there, Rick, wasn't it?
It was there, 2 on 1.
Yes, just fluffed his lines there, didn't he? And here's Blaisley again. So got roughed a couple up early, and that got him going into the game. So Frankham has got it, and now it's a 50-metre penalty. So was there a bit of lip, or did someone go into the protected zone? Did Cox-Goodger overstep the mark? Who knows?
Zach Oldenoff back onto the ground as well, so rest assured he's fit.
Yeah. So inside 50, and the mark's being taken by the number 3 in Whitmore. And we've got to bring it back, do we? Or has Whitmore got it?
I think there was going to be a free kick paid downfield.
Yep. So here's Andrew Whitmore. And he'll shoot from 45 out slight angle. He'll have to draw it left or right. He needs either a bit of low punch or a bit of high drawback. And that's off the instep. Horrible, but the mark has been taken by Digney. Just read it to perfection in the end. And he's got a shot from 25 metres out on a fairly reasonable angle here, but they've been kicking him from there. Wilkinson kicked a lovely goal just a little closer. So here's Digney. He's booted one. Direct approach. The drop punt looks good. He's got a couple. Wilkinson's got a couple. And Hillwood have got 5. 5-3-33. Rochalee just the 3 behind. So they are kicking with a breeze in this first quarter. And you've got to say, Rob Soward, that when they won the toss, they'd be hoping for this, and they've got what they wish for.
Yeah, absolutely. Even better than they wish for, I think. Rick noted it was probably a 3-goal breeze, but to have 5 goals on the board at the 23-minute mark, you'd be loving that if you were Jake Pearce. But I just think they're just cleaner with their use of the footy. They're hitting their targets up better. Rochalee, by comparison, not as clean as they'd like to be, and that's certainly something that I'm sure their coach will talk about at quarter time.
So ball tossed back up. Bannister and Leadham manoeuvres himself very well as Leadham. Good tackle, that might be holding the ball. Advantage paid, not really sure about that, but they've got it. Bannister will scrub it forward and taken high. Be a free kick here. Pretty easy decision there going the way of Bailey Wells for the Tigers. It's going the other way. That's extraordinary.
Something happened earlier, I think.
Okay. Anyway, Angus Jeffries on that left foot. And there's a holding decision. And it's going to go the way of Hillwood. And it's going to be another set shot. So real danger signs here. We're in deep in time on. 24 minutes played in the opening quarter. And Andrew Whitmore now has got a chance. He'll kick from only about 40 out. So you would think distance won't be a problem. Wind at his back. And that one slewed off the side of the boot straight away like a mad drop punt, that one. And that's a behind. So a let off for the City Tigers. And Hillwood, they extend their lead by a behind to 5-4, 34. Rochalee, 3 behinds, 25 minutes played.
31 points the margin. Could a bit dark here at UTAS, isn't it? Clouds rolling in. Let's hope the
We're used to these 2 o'clock starts, but it's 4:30.
That's right. We think that it is. Here's Bannister. He's had a bounce. The lights are on too, so that's fair enough. So they should be. That's why they're playing with the yellow ball, and that ball will float out of play. Yeah, they need the lights on here at UTAS.
That's probably a good example of what I was saying. They're just not clean enough coming out of the back half. They had men on there and couldn't use them.
So the boundary throw in. Leadham got it. Knocked it toward Jeffries. Richards. In they go. Nice little handball out there by Lemkow. And another stoppage here. She's been impressed with the way Hillwood have got out of the blocks here. No grand final nerves for them. On the job, 9 shots at goal to 3. So Leadham just worked his way, undersized his cousins. He's just, that's going to be their big problem. Leadham, as Larby was a big problem last year to them in the grand final. Leadham, a big man, he is dominating that ruck.
So approaching quarter time. It'll be a long quarter, 26 and a half played, 5 goals on the board already. Here's a chance. Opportunity now for Rushton. They should be able to score here. Here's Brown. He's a goal sneak. And it's touched just right on the quarter time siren. Oh, what a goal that would have been for Rochalee. And it just couldn't get good connection, Zane Brown. His teammates come around him. So opportunity missed, but it is quarter time here at UTAS Stadium. We'll get a quick summary from Rob Soward in a moment, but it's Hillwood 5-4, 34 leading Rochalee, 3 behinds. The goal kickers, a couple each to Archie Wilkinson and Nash Digney, and Isaac Thompson has got 1.
It's a fantastic start. You couldn't ask for anything better from Hillwood, whereas Rochalee would be disappointed, not just at the margin, but just at their ability to string passages of play together. I mean, we shouldn't start selling farms. Only one side's had the use of the wind. So really, really looking forward in the second half, Rick, to seeing what Rochalee do when they've got the wind at their back.
Absolutely. Time for a quick break here from UTAS Stadium. It is quarter time. It's Hillwood leading by an even 5 goals.
Harcourts, more than just real estate professionals.
It's a state of mind. Dreaming big, unearthing possibilities, identifying potential. We Tasmanians thrive on this. It's what makes us different. It's what drives us to succeed. Together, we can embrace the future. MCMF and us. A state of opportunity.
Hi, I'm Ray Chamberlain, And here are the top reasons why you should become an AFL umpire. You love intellectual conversations.
I know you're not. No, I said
And you said no. Everybody knows you need help with your anger management issues.
we don't talk to one another like that. Oh, it's okay.
You just can't keep up with the young ones any longer.
This rundown.
Because you like to get paid to keep fit.
Blow your whistle, show your decision, show your good strong signals, then get on your bike and go.
It's the best game in the world.
And welcome back to UTAS Stadium, where Hillwood have been the dominant side in the first quarter. Got 5 goals away before Rochalee could blink an eye. To be honest, Rochalee muffed a couple of chances in the early stages of that first quarter and then in the latter stages, and they end up with just a 3 behinds. As Rick Fontaine said just before quarter time there, 2 goals to Wilkinson, 2 to Digney, and then a single to Thompson for Hillwood. And of course, nobody has looked like kicking a goal, to be honest, for Rochalee. Zane Brown's had a couple of opportunities, but hasn't been able to get it done as the players break now. Hillwood the first to break, and then obviously Josh Ponting wanting to hold his troops in for a little longer because they need to pull something out of the fire, Rob Soward, in this second term. They've got the breeze, and let's see what they can do.
Yeah, and we were talking off air. I mean, Jordan Cousins I'd have in as one of the best players, not just at this level, but in the state. So if it was me and I had the magnet board, which I don't, I wouldn't be letting him anywhere near the ruck position. I'd just be letting him run around as an on-baller. He's just a super talent. He's got a terrific leg. He's one of those people that can turn a game. So him pumping the ball into someone like Brown or Holton, look out.
And it's all thanks to Jeremy Wilkinson from Harcourts Launceston, Tasmanian Agent of the Year for 5 years running. Also Murdoch Clark Mortgage Fund, Launceston and Hobart. And the Athlete's Foot, Brisbane Street, Launceston, where second quarter is underway. So up it goes. And Bannister in the ruck, Leadham. Just a little bit of chug-a-lug there. Couldn't quite get to the contest. Now it's Isaac Thompson. So Thompson just spins and Hillwood go out wide. And, playing for the free kick there was Taylor Stone, but there was nothing doing. The umpire said, just let it go. No one can really grab the footy, and maybe it's a free kick to Pike, is it? It is, but being held without the footy. So Blake Pike, Frank Pike, Don Pike. I think Frank's Don's father. Here we go, Pike. Just the ball just hits over the top. Nice little handball through the hands. Hillwood doing it pretty nicely. Just a little half kick by Bailey Wells. Now a kick high. Who can take a mark? Holton's there. He might still get this, Holton. And Brown tried desperately to keep it in, but it's rushed through for a behind. So 29 points now the margin. A rushed behind. So you can see already that breeze taking effect with Rochalee, Rick Fontaine into attack straight away.
Yep, behind in the opening minute. And here's Mac Blaisley, vice captain. He's had a very good first term for Hillwood. Andrew Cox-Goodger there. So the kick out of 50, and that's a nice mark taken by Kurt Burling. So looking for options. Decides to go out wide and finds Caden Cox-Goodger. He will swing on the left and send it deep into attack. It'll land about 15 out. Here comes Holton. Couldn't quite get to the contest. Over the back, Braden Pitcher couldn't quite keep it in. Holton, of course, needing a couple of goals this afternoon to reach the milestone of 1,000 career goals. Still in search of his first and team's first of the afternoon. So boundary throw in. Bannister puts it over the back. Here's Ponting, who notice moved himself into the centre. And that kick's going to fall short. Didn't go the required distance, so we're going to get a ball up. That was Jake Smith who took possession, but I think a fair call there by the umpire.
He's another one that can play up and around the ball, Jake Smith. I mean, terrific off the back line for Launceston, but love to see him around the footy here, Rick.
Here's Bannister and Leadham. Leadham seemed to jump too early. Still got his hands on it first of all. Strong tackle, and we're going to have another ball up. A tackle there by the coach, Jake Pearce. So ball up, 55 around from the goal. Right in front of Jeremy Wilkinson's face. They'll come inside the Tigers to about 45 out, and that's a nice mark. So it's going to be the first set shot of the afternoon, I think, almost. Taylor Stone for Rochalee. He needs to kick it. Just give them a little bit of a lift, Rob Soward, won't it, if he can nail this one?
Absolutely. They've fluffed a couple of chances, as you and Michael both mentioned. So this is very, very gettable, particularly with the wind at his back. He's only going to be kicking from probably 40, 45 metres. Much needed.
He's on a 45-degree angle. Makes his way in. It's pretty close to the man on the mark. And slews off the side for another behind. So they made a bright start to the second quarter, but no goals to show for it. So Hillwood leading the way by, it should be 5 behinds, I think they're on. So 5-4 to 5 behinds.
That's correct.
I think the main scoreboard might have just gone a point too much at the moment, but pretty sure it's 5 behinds to 5-4-34. So our scoreboard correct. So ball up, Leadham uncontested. Handball comes out. And that oval ball playing tricks on a few players. Here's Cousins, besieged upon by Thompson. They come away, and there's a holding decision going the way of Cousins. A little bit of a Tiggy Touchwood one there, I feel. But Cousins is going to belt it again to 15. Who's there for Rochalee? No one really. And coming in too late and giving away the free kick. Pretty easy decision for the umpire against Pitcher.
Yeah, and here we go for that free kick on Cousins. Look,
Dear me.
I don't know. Know about that. So from the kick in, Frankham has got it. So told to play on now. Get some elevation with the kick to the wing. Big knock away. Could have been holding free kick on Richards, the skipper of Rochalee. I'll need a fair bit out of him. So Richards goes out wide, and that's a very, very good kick. The mark taken. He plays on. This is Hawkins. Long kick. It's curling back. It just misses. Gee, I think it is 7 behinds, Rick. Just from my reckoning. So Richards misses. So 7 behinds to Rochalee. They haven't been able to get on the scoreboard with a goal as yet. So in we go again through Jacob Boyd. Goes out wide. No mark. Just pinching it out of there and just running with it was Jack Tuttle. Got it on the boot, and here's our man Pike, who won't let go of it. And it'll be a ball up.
So ball up, railway side of UTES Stadium. And Cousins does battle with Leadham. Here's Tuddill. He's made a good start to this game. The first quarter and a bit. Offhands, chance for the runners. Hyatt leading the way, but they'll come away. Nice chain of handballs. Bit of a kick and hope and a spiral towards half forward. Here's Ponting. They'll come inboard here. Chance for Cousins, who takes the mark. That kick coming from Jake Smith. So Cousins, as we love to see him do, on that left, kicks it inside 50. Over the back, here's a chance for Caden Cox-Goodger. He's quickly besieged upon, double teamed, and that is either holding the ball or, no, it's going to be a boundary throw in. Thought it might have been a fraction high.
I'm with you, Rick.
But it's going to be a boundary throw in, about 25, 30 metres around from the behind post. And the boundary umpire rightly coming in with that wind. Lead him at the front. Whacks it away. There's Cox-Goodger breaking the tackle there with ease. Coming away. Here's Jeffries. Neat kick. Finds his teammate in Digney. A couple of goals in the first quarter for Hillwood. Towards half forward. If it goes over the back, they're in here. Wilkinson couldn't quite take the mark. Sorry, it was Thompson. Gets a lovely handball over the top to Wilkinson. On the left. Oh, what a goal this would be. I think it's beaten them all and gone through. That might have been Brad Templer. Left foot kicks a goal. Well, that's worth gold down the northern end of the ground against the run of play. And Brad Templer's got his first and Hillwood's sixth goal. And they move on to 6-4-40, leading Rochalee 7 behinds. We'll check the replay here thanks to Round Table Studio. Have a look at this. 35 out. And just unable to get his hands on the ball was Kurt Burling. And it beat him through for a goal at the 8-minute mark. Oh, that is worth a lot. 33 points the margin. And
it's worth a lot too because 8-minute mark, probably for 7 minutes 30 of it, it's been up the Rochalee end.
Indeed.
Really good point, Rob. They get it up there. They just use the football a little better. 33 points the margin now. So back in the centre, what can Rochalee do? They are under siege at the moment. They're getting enough ball, but they're not able to use it and use it well. So Leadham in the ruck with Bannister. Leadham just knocks into the path of Jeffries, who just turned the body at the last minute to try and get through. Another stoppage coming here. No, all of a sudden it just chips out. Hillwood go into attack. Handball over the top looking for Taylor. Taylor's got to wait for it to sit and then doesn't have a really good turning circle. Now it goes to Ponting. Little kick out wide. And it'll find the line before Rushton can get there. So a boundary throw in. So Rochalee desperate for something. They trail by 33 points. Just the 7 behinds so far in this match. Leadham knocks it down perfectly. Got it to Jake Pearce, who got it on the boot, but the mark has been taken by Purdon. Purdon goes inside 50. Cox-Goodger caught. That's Brad Cox-Goodger caught. Brown over the top. Good-looking handball. Here's an opportunity for Hawkins, but he's nailed in the tackle. And the umpire's holding the ball. And the free kick will go to Camplin, who goes out wide.
Drops the mark, but has plenty of time to get on that right boot and finds Digney. Nash Digney. A lot of players behind the ball at the moment. A lot of options upfield, so he decides to go as long as he can. And they just seem to have, we'll get some comments from Rob Soward in a moment, but seem to have the runners on the outside of the ball. And Rob, while we got a little break, they just seem to be able to run in pairs and outnumbering Rochalee at the main contests.
Yeah, I think as we noted before the game, just their athletic ability on this big ground is something that would cause Rochalee a lot of concern. And that's the understatement of the day. It's causing them a great deal of concern, and they're not finding the answers, Rochalee, at the moment, which they have to.
So push in the back, and it's going to be a free kick here to Jack Tuddill. Of course, premiership player with Launceston, first year at Hillwood. Kicks it, it's reasonable purchase there, getting up a bit too early, but almost dragging down was Wilkinson. And going over the top of the ball, I think we're going to get a ball up here. The umpire will have to come and sort it out, letting it go for an eternity here. Still not out, now it is, clear. Luke Richards had it spent before he took possession. Eventually picked up by Bassett. Bassett kicks it, it's going to come back, because it's being chopped off by Zach Camplin. So they're doing well here. 11 minutes played. Rochalee still in search of their first goal of the grand final for 2023. A little bit of time. They've got some numbers here, but kicking it again and hoping for a possession. Here's Brown over the back. Shepherd's well. Bannister. And we're going to get a holding decision. Might come back to Zane Brown. It does, who was being held as he was shepherding. Goes short. Finds Andrew Cox-Goodger. He'll come inside 50. Oh, that's great work. The true centre half-back position there. Tyler Miller handballs it off to Jacob Boyd, and here's Michael Maney.
I had Brad Cox-Goodger playing. Wouldn't they love him playing for Rochalee just a moment ago? And That is a free kick, and it is going to the number 25 in Holton. So his dad up in the goal square. I don't think he's going to get the distance and the journey to kick it to his dad. It's going to be one kick off that, so he kicks long down the line, flicks over the back, and unfortunately it was by Pitcher. He kicked into his own man in Hawkins, and the ball flies out of bounds.
I'm just watching how the Hillwood defence just cover off for each other there, and you know, it's a really, really good system, and it's why it's so hard for Rochalee to score at the moment.
On the throw-in, over the top, Bannister. He's got a little kick on it. It might just come away again, just using it through the hands, and that ball just gone out of play. So it was our man in Camplin again who just missed the target, but the umpire thought, no, well, you were looking for a teammate. So here we go again. Another ball in. The ruck's set up. Let's hope it gets to him. It does. This time Bannister got down. No free kicking, goes Brown. Really hard and low the football, and another stoppage. 6-4-40 plays 7 behinds. Michael Maney, Rick Fontaine and Rob Soward with you. NTFA Grand Final.
Bannister this time almost takes it out of the ruck. Kick away there from Camplin. Here's an opportunity. Banging it onto the boot was Archie Wilkinson. Yeah, the bounce of the ball will favour Rochalee. Kicked forward by Pike. Good contest from Andrew Cox-Goodger. Got there late, but did really well. All ball belted inside 50. It's going to bounce over the back. Here's a chance for Holton. Brown over the back. Strong tackle. No opportunity to get rid of it, though. And we'll have a ball up. The Hillwood supporters down the city end wanted ball, but good decision. Great tackle, though. Excellent work there from Mac Blaisley. He's had a cracking first quarter and a bit. Leadham jumps up high. Collected here by Donnelly. Good kick with a running with the fly to the ball, and he took off straight away. That was his only mistake that he made, Emerson Lemcow. And it's going to be holding the ball. Quick to play on. Here's a chance for Purdon. Towards the goal square, and the mark's taken. Here's Holton. Josh Holton in what we believe is going to be his final game. The 35-year-old looking for goal number 999 in his career, but most importantly for Rochalee's first of the afternoon.
The Staggers running back too, but he's the man with the golden boot over the years.
A little bit of advice there from the Hillwood supporters over the back of the fence there. And here he comes. Josh Holton kicks for goal, and he's got it. That's a great kick. Josh Holton gets Rochalee's first of the afternoon. They move on to 1-7-13. Hillwood at the 15-minute mark of the second term, a 6-4-40 the margin, 27 points.
Look, you know, 15 minutes in, and with that 3-goal breeze behind you, to say that that's a goals needed is an understatement. But look, they've certainly showed patches, Rochalee, in parts of this quarter where that ball's just lived inside their 50 zone, but they haven't been able to capitalise, and Hillwood's defence has stood up really well. But that's a great goal from Holton, particularly from that part of the field. So hopefully that inspires them to string a couple together.
Will it be a team-lifting goal, Rob?
I see Cousins has gone to full forward, so we'll see what happens.
Well, they need something. They need some firepower in that forward line. They've been able to get it in, but they haven't been able to score until just then. Kicked off the ground by Caden Cox-Goodger. Couldn't get it clear. Josh Ponting's there, held up in the tackle by Jake Pearce. Up it goes again. Bannister positioned himself a lot better in that contest. Little kick off the ground. Stone couldn't pick it up. Now the handball comes out to Lemcow, who made a big mistake, and he might get pinged for holding the ball again here. So that's twice in the last 3 or 4 minutes Lemcow has been done. So the free kick goes to Bassett. He goes out wide to Caden Cox-Goodger, who loads up a long drop punt, hoping for a mark, hoping for something to spill over the back and they can run onto, and they can't do it because they've been held up. Darren Lowe right there, the number 21, as they push and shove. Andrew
just keeping an eye out. I'm just keeping an eye out for that earlier query about Zach Oldenoff. I couldn't see him out there, and I couldn't see him on the sideline, so I'll keep an eye on that one, guys.
Well, they've got a nice lead, and if he doesn't come back, it might not hurt them too much, but here they go through Bannister. A free kick. Bannister's long kick. He's looking for Holton, and it is thumped through by Tyson Miller. So they're on the march here. Just a little patch for Rochalee at the moment, but they still trail by 26 points.
10 scoring shots to 9, and it's just kept in, or touched, I should say, to prevent a free kick going the way of Rochalee. So they're peppering here. As I said, 10 scoring shots to 9. Hillwood leading by 26 points, but still 2.5 minutes before we get into time on. If they could snag 2 or 3 here, we've got a game on our hands before half time. There's Cousins doing the ruck work again. And the kick comes forward from Wells to full forward. Holton in the mix. Plenty of Hillwood numbers. Here's Holton for goal number 1,000. Didn't quite have the carry. Crowd were getting excited. It's another behind. So Rochalee move on to 1 goal, 9-15, trailing Hillwood 6-4-40.
So from fullback, Jacob Boyd kicks to a packed situation, and that's okay. Pearce, the coach, has the mark. Jake Pearce gets on with it, goes long. It might just favour.
He read it well, didn't he,
Richards? Yep, there's a little bit of a fade away there, and he judged it beautifully. Then the kick into the middle finds Bassett. Bassett, that handball, and they go inside 50 again through Jake Smith. Handball out. Nicely done by Miller. So the kick to the line just covers the line in the end. And Rochalee will get another opportunity. 19 minutes gone, second term. They trail by 25 points, do the Tigers. So Ponting launches long, hoping for a mark. Up they fly, and the only one to really judge it well is the number 26 in Campbell. And we've got a player
down here, not looking in a great way. Jake Pearce coming over. The trainers are out.
It's McLean. Yeah, he's hurt himself, no question about that.
Just winded, I'm hoping.
Might have got in an exchange, might have just copped a little punch in the guts. You just never know.
He was running back to position, but the trainer said, no, come off, let's have a bit of a look at you. It seems to be running pretty free.
He'll be back, I would say. So Hillwood from half back, Ponting with only eyes for the football. Now here's an opportunity for the Hillwood Sharks through Donnelly. Donnelly's kick is a bit of a scrubber, so they might be able to get it through Pike. Pike does well. Gets it back to Bassett. Bassett with an awkward left footer. And Andrew Cox-Goodger takes the mark. Immediately on with play to Caden Cox-Goodger. And that's not a real good bounce, but he might be able to circumnavigate his way through. No, he can't. Caught with the footy, but had it held to him. Ball up. 40 plays, 15.
Oldenoff just comes back on for Hillwood there, but he does look like he's limping. So, hopefully he's okay, because he's a very important player to them across halfback.
From the ruck contest, Isaac Thompson comes away with it, kicks out wide, and it comes off the hand of Digney. And we'll have a boundary throw in. Centre wing, railway side of the ground, ticked into time on in the second term. 6-4-40 Hillwood. One scoring shot for the quarter, but it was an all-important goal. Rochalee, 1 goal, 6 for the quarter so far.
I don't like the way Oldenoff is walking. He's not putting much weight on that ankle.
Lederman Cousins, here's Ponting over the back. He's got a bit of space and a bit of time, and he bombs it long, but they've got the numbers here. Holton gets there late, and that's a high tackle. Advantage should be paid here by the umpire. No, he's held it up, so it's going to come back. Free kick going the way of Camplin. So, gee, this Hillwood defence have held very well, because the ball's been down there, as Rob Soward pointed out a little earlier, on a regular basis this quarter. They come away very nicely. Good running. Here's Miller. Handball over the top. The game just seems to have opened up a little bit. A bit more space being created. Big ground that these teams are playing on. Obviously only used for the grand final, UTAS Stadium.
It's the best way to go, isn't it? Hey, it's the grand final here. Just magnificent.
It is indeed. So today's coverage brought to you by Jeremy Wilkinson, Harcourt's Launceston, also MCMF and the Athlete's Foot. Great to have local support. Here's Ponting, smothered very nicely by Miller. And Handball over the top there from Jake Smith, but it had already gone over the boundary line. So, Rob, they desperately need a goal or two here with 22 minutes played. You'd think they just need that bit of a confidence builder, and if they can get a late one or two, it keeps them in it.
Yeah, particularly in light of that breeze, Rick, as you highlighted, it's a 3-goal or so breeze. To only kick one with it, so a disadvantage.
Donnelly got the high kick and Stone just kills it to the line. So 25 points the margin. Let's have a look at the goal kickers. They've both just kicked a goal each in this term. So Rochalee have been able to halt the slide, but they are kicking with the breeze themselves, and they haven't really taken advantage of that. The Holton goal at the 15-minute mark of the second term, their first of the game. Leadham got the knockdown. Richards went without it, then got it to Ponting. Now another quick handball out. A chance for Thompson. Thompson's left footer. Purdon thought he had about 3 snavels at that, and then going crook was Digney. But Purdon goes out wide, and that's okay. Finds Smith. Smith with a little chip. Cousins just can't get into the game. Hasn't been able to touch it really. Jeffries nicely back to Thompson. Thompson inside 50. That is a lovely kick, and Whitmore takes the mark. Whitmore wants to go. Got a man on the lead in the pocket in Hyatt, but he can't get there. And good defence by Rochalee.
We've been highlighting where people have been watching from today. Well, I wouldn't mind the playing this guy on. Mike Sinclair, halfway through, he's in South Sudan. Later in the game, he's watching from Mexico. So clearly he's obviously borrowed Superman's jet, I reckon. Good on you, Silky. Hope you're enjoying it. He's a Rochalee fan.
Magnificent. It's a world global bloody tour.
It's Carmen Sandiego sort of a character, isn't he?
There it is. So the ball out of play on the outer side.
So around about 40 metres from the Hillwood goal. Approaching half-time here in the grand final. 24 and a half minutes almost played. Spills over the back. Caden Cox-Goodger kicks it. Richards, they've got some numbers here. Handball from Rushton. Bannister boots it forward over the head of Cousins. Out wide, they've got numbers. Tuddill leads the way. Jack Tuddill. The whistle's gone. It might be a hold here. So he's going to go the way of Hillwood. Thought they had possession of the ball there, and probably could have kept going, but it's going to come back to Frankham. So Jared Frankham kicks it just forward of the centre. Out wide. Has it stayed in? No, it hasn't. It is, in fact, out of bounds on the full. And Josh Ponting says, give the ball to me. We need a goal desperately. Comes short. That's too much on it. Over the back, Frankham. Handball. This is what they've done well all day. Tuddill kicks it to about 60 out. Mark not quite held. Ponting. He's had a pretty good quarter, Ponting, but that more of a kick and hope there. Now, thought I heard a whistle for a moment.
What I did too.
Yeah, but so they recalled it, didn't they?
Yeah, so Jake Smith is marked. And come forward. We're getting very close to half-time. Again, numbers with Hillwood over the back. They're doing this well. Bit of space. Oh, look out. Here's a chance now for the Tigers. Here's Stone. And he's launched it, but out of bounds on the full, unfortunately, for Rochalee. A bit of sun tries to sneak through here in Invermay. Approaching half-time, the margin 25 points.
So back live, away we go. Big leap. No mark, Taylor. Oh, he's hurt his shins there as the siren goes for half-time here at UTAS, and Alistair Taylor is hobbling away, but I think he'll be okay. But what a performance in the first half by Hillwood. 6 goals, 440 to Rochalee 1-9-15. So bad kicking is bad football, and they've missed a few. There's been a few rushed, but they could have kicked goals. Goals for Hillwood. We've got 2 to Digney, 2 to Wilkinson, and then singles to Templar and Thompson. And for Rochalee, their sole goal kicker, who sits on 999, Josh Holton. He's kicked the one goal. Thoughts from Rob Soward. Rob, that first half, as we see Oldenoff, I don't think he's going to play too much more in the game. I reckon he's had it strapped, re-strapped and strapped again, but I think his day could be over for Hillwood. But what are your thoughts in the first half? Yeah, completely agree with you on Oldie. He's not right, but quick overview of the two sides. Hillwood would be wrapped with that. Terrific start in that first quarter with the breeze. Really lost no ground in the second quarter when they changed ends. I mean, their system in the back half is absolutely fantastic and standing up to everything that Rochalee threw at them. Rochalee dominated big patches of that quarter and they only gave up a goal. From a Rochalee perspective, you know, we've said this all the way through. They're just breaking down in putting their passages of play together. They need more out of their stars. And I think I said right before the start of the game, they've got those guys that can just turn the game on its head. Rick Fontaine, you highlighted just how quickly they can score. So they'll be talking about that at half time. But at the moment, it's all Hillwood. But as we know, gentlemen, as we know, listeners, you don't get a trophy at half time. There's another half of footy to play.
There is 25 points is the margin at half time. 6-4-40 Hillwood. Rochalee 1-9-15. We're going to take a break here from UTES Stadium. We hope you guys enjoy your break as well for a few moments, and we'll be back in a few minutes leading into the second half.
Harcourts, more than just real estate professionals.
It's a state of mind. Dreaming big. Unearthing possibilities. Identifying potential. We Tasmanians thrive on this. It's what makes us different. It's what drives us to succeed. Together, we can embrace the future. MCMF and us. A state of opportunity.
Hi, I'm Ray Chamberlain, and here are the top reasons why you should become an AFL umpire. You love intellectual conversations.
I know you're not. No, I said. And you said no.
Everybody knows you need help with your anger management issues.
We don't talk to one another like that. Oh, it's okay.
You just can't keep up with the young ones any longer.
This run down.
Because you like to get paid to keep fit.
Blow your whistle, show your decision, show your good strong signals, then get on your bike and go.
It's the best game in the world.
So welcome back to our live coverage with thanks to Jeremy Wilkinson, Tasmania's leading real estate agents from Harcourts, Launceston, also MCMF, Murdoch Clark Mortgage Fund, Launceston in George Street, also down in Hobart, and the Athlete's Foot, Brisbane Street, Launceston. Great to have local support. Bringing the coverage this afternoon from UTAS Stadium, and Rob Soward, put the coach's hat on. Josh Ponting at half-time. Would you be looking at structural changes? What sort of message would you be delivering?
Look, I guess there's a couple of things. If I had that task, Rick, I'd be, as I said in the first quarter, I'd be having Jordan Cousins going nowhere near the ruck position. I'd be playing him on or around the ball. They did push him forward to try and isolate him when the ball was up there. So that'd be the first thing. I'd be looking also at trying to pull the Hillwood defenders out of their comfort zone. They're setting up so well behind the footy. I'd be trying to pull them up and then maybe pump the ball over to give guys like Brown an opportunity to run onto it. Jack Rushton, very, very smart goal scorer. So I'd be doing that. The other thing I guess I'd be doing too, I reckon Bannister's doing all right against Leedham. So again, I'd be making sure that my on-ballers like Ponting, obviously, and Cousins got their first hands on it. So, yeah, it's all ahead of them, Rochalee. They'd be really disappointed with the start from Hillwood's viewpoint. They'd be delighted with the start. To be this far in front against such a quality opposition, they'd be stoked.
Late afternoon sunshine coming out here at UTAS Stadium, and very good afternoon to someone that we know, of course, reporter from Channel 7, Talia Jordan, is watching and says that Alfred says he was expecting a little bit of a closer game than this and decided to have a nap instead, but is acknowledging the commentators. There's Alfred. Alfred is the dog, the household dog, fast asleep on the couch with us there, the three of us calling the game. Thank you very much, Talia.
Yes, not nicely done. And Alfred, that's a great name for a dog, I must say.
I just mentioned too, some great local football names in there listening. Stumpy Clark, obviously a name that we all know, and again we highlighted before the break, gentlemen, the world travellers we've got today. We may come from them from time to time, but we had a watcher from Kazakhstan, which was terrific because again I think he was somewhere else. So we love the live stream commentary because it's great to see local people who are in other parts of the world watching family and friends and relatives.
Might have been Mike Sinclair. Where is he now? What part of the world's he gone to now, Rob?
No, we wait for that one, but he did enjoy our acknowledgement of his travel plans.
Fantastic. He might be travelling with the Jetsons the way he's beaming around the world at the moment.
You want to get down here, Silky? I tell you what, they could probably use you in that forward line, I reckon.
So Ponting's got him in very, very tight down that northern end, and they break up now and will start to make their way into positions. Hillwood players already taking time out. Zach Oldenoff goes to the bench. So you'd have to suspect, gentlemen, very doubtful that we'll see him. He's still got the trainers there around him. I'm not sure if we're going to see him any more this afternoon.
He might be on just for a rotation or two occasionally. He might still be able to stand in a forward pocket just on a rotation and perhaps, with a bit of luck, maybe take a mark and kick a goal. But he's pretty ginger.
I'll just give a quick shout out to our cameraman extraordinaire, Benny Donaldson, as well, Michael. He has been on his feet for all 4 games to date. He's doing an outstanding job. Great cameraman, Benny. Great to have you part of the team this week, and isn't it nice to see the sun out?
It is. Benny D. He is the sunshine man. Shorts all year round.
All year round,
and
indeed.
The best in the business, as many, including Dave Moore at City Park, call him. He's a fantastic cameraman, Benny Donaldson. Thanks, Benny.
All right, we're just about set to go for the second half, and Michael Maney's going to take us away.
Wow, Rochalee, like the boy with a barra. He's got the job ahead of them. Leedham just got his fingertips on that. Cousins just needs something to spark. Bannister goes through. Rushton knocks it out wide. It might end up with Cousins. And now Cousins kicks into the pocket, and that ball knocked away from Brown. So the kick out wide is going to float and be marked by Ponting. I heard a whistle just a moment ago, but it must have been advantage. And the little worm-burning pass finds Hawkins, and Hawkins gets a shot at goal. They've come out with a bit of spark, Rochalee. I don't think Josh Ponting would have been too pleased with that first half. But here's an opportunity for Hawkins. He's got to really work this left to right. It's a difficult kick on a day like today. It doesn't look difficult when you look at it on our screen. But the kick from Ponting to Hawkins was exemplary, and this could give them a spark. The game needs a spark. Here's Hawkins. Careful. He's just drifted it away, and it has just snuck in for a behind. You've got to be so careful with that kick. You'll really punch very hard at the left goal post, but Rochalee on the board in the second half.
They've had more scoring shots, Rochalee, 11-10. They're 1-10, play 6-4, but they have come out with some intensity. Rob Soward, was great to see Ponting to Cousins inside 50. First time we've seen it today.
Yeah, that's exactly what they need more of.
And he's got his hands on the ball again. Cousins on that left foot, kicks it out wide. 2-on-1. Trying to gather possession of the ball is Jake Smith, and best he could do is hope for the boundary line, and he gets it about 55-60 out, but definitely have come out with some real intensity and purpose, and great to see Jordan Cousins is out there running around with a bit more freedom as well.
They can just light it up, those two. I mean, they're two of the best players in this competition still, and were two of the best players in the state.
Leadham again, thumps it away. Collected by Rushton, immediately tackled. There's about 7 or 8 players around the ball, and it's not coming out. Cousins there as well, and we're going to get a ball up. About 65 around for the Rochalee goal. They're heading to the northern end against the breeze. Their supporters are down there as well at that end. The ball pinned in there, that's not coming out. Held to Ponting, and we'll get a ball up. So good impact from Ponting and Cousins in this first 2.5 minutes. Leadham gets the fist way. Here's Cousins again. Now we've got a high tackle. And which way is it going to go? It's going to go the way of Hillwood, I think.
Yeah,
it is.
Against Dakota Bannister.
Off the ball a bit.
We come back to the Hillwood playing coach in Jake Pearce.
Pearce goes in short. Leadham running into space. Who would have thought? And knocked away by Cousins, but no advantage there. So big Leadham, smile on his face. Prances back. Wants to kick over the wing. Up they fly. Good mark in the middle of that, taken by Thompson. Thompson, kick smothered. Goes back on it again. Left footer. Real old chaos ball. Beautifully done by Caden Cox-Goodyer. Just boots it away. But Blaisley did nicely on hands and knees. He's got a player in some space on the outer side and finds him, and that is Digney. Digney with a handball to Camplin, who couldn't take it with him. Well done by Rushton, and did it nicely. Just runs away. Could have a bounce or two, but decides to throw it on the boot. That's okay, and finds Holton. So Holton, Josh Holton, long way from goal. Stuck on 9.99 goals. What can he do? He won't kick a goal here. Kicks to the pocket, looking for his teammate there in Pitcher. He couldn't quite take it. And in the flash, it's taken by Digney. And a little short, skimming ball. Wilkinson just played for the free. Caden Cox-Goodyer to Ponting, who couldn't bend over. Here's the other young lad in Holton. Handball over the top to Pitcher. Pitcher now loads it up. It's a kick to the pocket. Brown can't take the mark. Just hasn't been his day today. Little quick squeezing ball out of there. Might just come back. Rushton's there. They all overrun it. Rushton did nicely. Jammed it on the left boot. Mark taken by Pitcher. Well, they've looked a bit better in the first 4.5. And they've got some real purpose.
And he's another guy that can light it up. Braden Pitcher played some terrific football at Launceston.
It's a good mark, isn't it?
Under pressure too.
Played in Queensland as well, I think, up there in the Quaffle. So, very capable player.
Crazy stuff, but if he kicks this, it's just 3 goals in it. Here's Pitcher. From about 30 metres out. Sits it up and pushes it away. Didn't kick through the ball at all. You'd need to kick through the ball on a day like today. Just that breeze will just take the air conveyance, as Rexy Hunt used to say, and take it away from you. It's 23 points the margin now in favour of Hillwood.
Zach Oldenoff has made his way back out, and he's the loose man. He's going to take the mark here as well. Well, no, he's not. It's going to be cut off. Here's Cousins, does it beautifully. And the mark's taken by Holton. Here he is. He kicked one from a difficult angle in that second quarter.
Can we get a heart monitor on him?
Sense of anticipation. Josh Holton, the 35-year-old Rochalee full forward, tosses the grass up. You wouldn't be able to pick much grass up off this surface. Josh Holton moves in, Kicks for goal. It looks good. That's it. He's got 1,000. And here they come with a spectator as well. They get around him. The Rochalee players, that's got to lift them. 1,000 career goals. Congratulations, Josh Holton. And if anything is going to lift the Rochalee Football Club, Rob Soward, that's it. The margin is back to 17 points.
Yeah, absolutely. Beautifully called there too, Rick. I mean, 1,000 goals, and he won't have kicked any more or many more important than that, because this stage of the grand final, they need inspiration, but they've certainly come out in the first 6 minutes. Rochalee, they're open for business.
Beautiful kick off the boot. Both goals, tight angles. And nice touch of sportsmanship there as well from Hewitt. I think it might have been Alistair Taylor giving him a little tap on the back as he made his position back to full forward. And have a look at them get around him.
We did get some feedback too from one of our stream listeners, Jack Tuttill's future father-in-law, saying tidy up that moustache too.
We get it all on the stream. Here's Rushton. So Rochalee on a bit of a roll here. What can they do? Dashing out of half-back, nicely done by Boyd. And that might have been dealt with after he's kicked it. And this is not what Rochalee want. They want to be able to keep their nerve. They're on a roll. They don't want to give away silly free kicks. And young Boyd has been absolutely crunched on the bugle.
Gee, Rushton's given him a lift this quarter too, hasn't he?
Yep.
Yeah, we mentioned him after the break, didn't we? He's a guy that can turn it on as well.
Here's the Hoffman. And almost a mark by Digney. Well done by Richards. Tackled, slung as he kicked, but it might be coming back. As the mark has been taken by Oldenhoff, who's probably that jab in the ankle is starting to work. That's if he's had one. Oldenhoff's kick just rolls to the line. And no, it's a free kick. It's going to Ponting, is it? Or who's it going to? Yep, going to Josh Ponting.
Don't think he knew.
No. Well, we had no idea where we are, but the umpire's being very pedantic. He must come back, and that's one thing about umpiring. Ricky might be able to tell us about that. Just sometimes the angles just need to be absolutely correct.
Although there's no next week for them, obviously, but no, you've got to stick to the rules, and he had to come back. See, Ponting and Cousins, we've called their names a few times this quarter already. Here's Bannister, look to play on. Got a teammate loose there in Purdon, but decides he's going to go short. And, well, it might work out okay. Cox Goodger has got it. And now the handball will come over the top. Here's a chance now for Pitcher. Kicks it inside 50 towards Holt, but it's going to be too wide and beat all comers and go out of bounds.
I did have someone ask a question that came to me, guys, who the spectator was. Josh Holton's wife. Ange
Was it? That's
Ange
fair enough.
Good on you, Ange.
Brilliant.
Common sense prevailed. Security didn't
son
come
playing
out
today. Good on you.
That's wonderful to see. Great stuff. Boundary throw in, 50 out. Rochalee doing all the attacking, it has to be said. Against the breeze, 9.5 minutes played. They trail by just 17. Margin at one stage was 33 points at the 15-minute mark of the second quarter. They've had more scoring shots. Here's Cousins again. Good smother. And that was Tyson Miller getting important hands on the ball. He's lifted as well.
They haven't been this close, Rick, since the 8-minute mark of the first quarter, Rochalee. Wow. So they're back in the game.
And listening to you two call the game, I haven't heard you call the names Ponting and Holton. Ponting and Cousins as much as you have this quarter.
Yeah, no, they've lifted. No question about that. They're leading by example. Leadham knocks it down, and then kicking it out of mid-air was Donnelly. Thompson overran it. Here's a chance. Little handball over the top. Nicely done by Sam Suter. They overrun it. That was Cody Gardner. Now Pike.
That was an important touch.
Knocks it forward. Here's young Holton. Goes with a high kick. Pitcher in front. No free kick, or was it? Yes. He actually milked it beautifully, did Pitcher. His arms were outstretched. So it's been pretty much played in Rochalee's half of the ground in this third term, and they're kicking against the breeze. That kick fades away to the pocket. Holton couldn't take the mark. Ball close to the line. It's a boundary throw. Well, I thought this one was almost cooked at half-time, but Rochalee have changed my mind. They are back in the game big time. If they can snag a goal here, all of a sudden, it'll be back to under 2 goals.
He would have actually only had one scoring shot since quarter time, Michael.
Yep.
So Rochalee dominating possession. and just starting to get a couple of goals now. So they'll come forward again. Important foot on the ball. There's Ponting again. Handball off to Smith. They'll come inside 50 yet again, but it's going to be a mark taken here by Oldenoff. Zach Oldenoff comes in board. It's a good enough kick. Mark taken under pressure in the end by Boyd. He'll come wide as well. Look for and find his teammate in Frankham. Loose man over the top as well as they come towards the 50. And the mark in front of the Hillwood supporters is taken by Digney. Goes short. Great spoil over the top there. Important from Suter. Excellent tackle. Intensity lifted here. And it's out of bounds. 30 metres around from the Hillwood goal. Last possession there to Hoffman.
Dusty.
The Hoff, as you call him, Michael Maney. So the lights taking effect at UTAS Stadium. Hillwood supporters find voice because they're under a bit of pressure here. Important ruck contest. Wilkinson's going to do it this time with Cousins, who takes possession. And players all over the ball, about 40 metres out from Hillwood's goal. They're kicking to the centre, to the city end rather, in the third quarter. And they lead. It's been whittled. It's 17 points. Haven't scored in this third quarter. Tunnel ball goes through a few. Pearce couldn't take possession. He fights for it again. Now they've got a chance. Here's Thompson. Couldn't take possession. It's hot at the moment, the ball out there. Rochalee willing the ball forward. And I think the umpire's going to have to come here and sort it out. And we're going to get a ball up at the 12.5 minute mark of the third quarter at UTAS Stadium. Premier Division Senior Grand Final. It's Hillwood and Rochalee cracking third quarter.
Game's alive. Leadham falls over the back. Rushton went past it. Dived on it again. And it'll be a stalemate here.
They've really dialed it up, Rochalee, this quarter, haven't they, Michael?
They have. Yeah, they've thrown the kitchen sink at it. Cousins, he's back in the ruck. Knocks it forward about 35 metres. Here's a chance for young Holton. It's a handball away. Templar was there. Little hook kick, Tuttle. High ball. Up they fly. Smith. No one can get it. Here's an opportunity for Hillwood through Digney. Just ran past it in the end. Stone. Purton. Been okay. Back to Smith. Goes out wide. Holton can't take the mark, or did he? Lachlan Holton. Then the chip ball. This is Caden Cox-Goodyer. He's got to wait for it to sit. He's got to get around Oldenoff. He can't move, Oldenoff. Now the kick by Caden Cox-Goodyer. Here's Holton. He snapped the goal. They're back in it. It's 11 points. He's got three. He's got all three.
And interestingly too, just as that was happening, Isaac Thompson left off here with an ankle, and you've got Oldenoff over there, who you could see just couldn't move and turn and keep up with his opponent. So some wounded there for the Sharks, and Rochalee can smell blood in the water.
It's the Holton show.
It is, and here it is. Went through a few sets of hands here. Hit McLean, and Holton said thank you very much. He's got three, and as Michael Maney said, all three goals as well. Isaac Thompson in a fair bit of discomfort on the boundary line at the moment in the hands of the trainers, and limping pretty significantly on that left ankle. Well, the margin, 11 points. You'd think Rochalee are kicking with the breeze. They're dominating this quarter, and here they come again through Cousins. They'll come inside 50. Mark dropped. Andrew Cox-Goodger's there, besieged upon him. Might be a push in the back, a high tackle. It's going to go the way of Hillwood. And the free kick is going to be taken by Miller. Tyson Miller, a bit slow to get up as well, looks in a bit of pain. Andrew Cox-Goodger mans the mark. They'll come to centre wing, a little bit of hands in the back there. Over the back it's going to spill. Here's a chance for Taylor. Taylor from 65 kicks it to full forward. Big contest here. Who's at the fall of the ball? Who can get it? The handball comes out. Strong tackle. And away they come. Caden Cox-Goodger bangs it long. Brown against McLean it is. Great contest from the two. Josh Potting having a rest as well on the bench.
That was a great win there for McLean, because you could see if that ball got goal side, Brown was off for the races.
Absolutely. So we're under 2 goals. What a contest we've got. Big transformation. It's a good tackle. Might have been almost a sling tackle, but not paid. Holding the ball. Did have a little opportunity to get rid of it. You better give it back. You don't want to ping 50 here when you've got all the momentum. So the free kick as Hillwood will come inside 50. Hasn't been in there much this quarter. That's a holding decision. Pretty easy decision for the umpire. It's going to go the way of Andrew Whitmore. That's a silly free kick. Clear hold there. It might have been Burling.
Wilkinson took the mark too, Rick, so the double-pronged attack there.
Here's the replay. You can see there, pretty clear-cut decision for the umpire. So, Andrew Whitmore from 45 to stem the tide, makes no mistake. Important goal for Hillwood. Andrew Whitmore gets his first, and it's a little steadier for the Sharks. And it gets that margin out to 17 points, 7-4-46. Rochalee 3-11-29.
You don't often say it's an important goal for a side that's already in front, but as you two have called, it's been all Rochalee this quarter. So for Hillwood, with very few inside 50s to capitalise on that one. Silly free kick to give away when they had all the momentum, but a really crucial goal for Hillwood just to stem the flow.
So the goal from Whitmore, as you can see, perfectly executed kick. So 17 points the margin again. It got back to 11 at the 14-minute mark with the Holton goal. So away it goes. Bannister. Following up was Leadham. Little handball over the top. Rushton really has lifted his rate in this third term. Little kick off the ground. Might be okay. Richards trying to get involved. So too Pearce. And the ball rolls out in front of the interchange gates.
Pearce has been playing a bit of an on-again, off-again run with roll with Cousins when he's been on the ball. And that's going to be critical because Cousins is a guy that can tear this game to pieces.
No question about that. Come on, Rochalee from Peter June Gibbons.
Good on you, Peter.
Nice to hear from you. Send us a message. We love it coming through. Here's a chance for the Hoff. Little quick kick. I think it might have been Pearce. Digney. Can't collect it. Richards. Cool, calm. Donnelly. Now Hyatt, haven't called him much. Hyatt trying to curl it back. Was he ditched after he kicked it? The umpire said he was pushed. And so Hyatt will get an opportunity to have a shot. Now no one's collecting the footy for him. So I don't know what he's going to kick. The ball's just between the posts there. So Wilkinson just laconically picks him out. So here's Hyatt. He's booted 33 goals here, and up it goes. We're just looking to see what the free kick was. Yeah, a bit of a nudge. It wasn't much. So here's Hyatt, Ben Hyatt, just got the one behind today from 45. Runs around. It's a good looking kick. It's got a bit too much hook on it though. It's gone through for another behind. So 18 points the margin now. The kick from Hyatt across the face of goal.
Yeah, a bit of
we've got a conference. Now Rochalee think it might be out of bounds on the full. There you go. So I take it all back. I honestly do. So no score to Hyatt. It's still 17 points the margin as Smith drives it to the outer side. Up they fly. Leadham with a big punch from behind. Will hit the line and it rolls out of play. So we've gone 20 minutes in the third term. Hillwood 7-4-46. Rochalee 3-11-29. Rick Fontaine, Rob Soward with you. Well, thanks to Jeremy Wilkinson from Harcourt's Launceston, Tasmanian Agent of the Year, 5 years running.
17-point lead to Hillwood. What an important 5 minutes or so coming up here in this third quarter, particularly for Rochalee. Hillwood have just lifted a little bit in the last few minutes. A nice passage and chain of handballs. Here's the skipper leading the race with the ball in. Richards chased, showing a clean pair of heels from Angus Jeffries. Has a bounce, still has time to steady and kicks it long. Great stuff from the captain. Brown over the back. Look out. Here he comes, Zane Brown. Looking for Holton. One-on-one contest. It's going to sneak over the back. Can Holton get there first? He snaps behind, just off to the right. Oh, well, great passage of play there from Hillwood. From Rochalee, rather. So they move on to 3 goals, 12 now, 30, leading Hillwood trailing Hillwood 7-4, 46, 21 minutes played here in quarter number 3.
16 points. They haven't been this close since the 6.5 minute mark. Basically, it was 11 points to Hillwood then. So the high kick. Purdon knocked forward by Wilkinson. That was intelligent play. Little quick kick out there. Smith worked it well. Needs to release now. Got caught. Really had an eternity there, Smith. He was just waiting for someone to get into space. It didn't happen. Hyatt gets the free kick. Kicks to the pocket. Someone will need to knock this through if you're to the boundary. If you're a Rochalee fan, the ball just gets to the line. A few of them hobbling around it there. The attrition rate is quite high in this grand final. We see it quite often. So
big ground in a long season.
Yep. You've got to sustain one last effort for this game. Pearce got through and get the boot away and get a clean hit at it. Here's Hyatt. Good tackle by Pike as they come crashing for him, Jeffries, and then they decide they'll have a bit of a box on. Which way will the umpire see it? Looks like he might pay a free kick to Rochalee here, and he's going to pay the free kick to young Pike, not Frank Pike.
I think actually
it's against Jeffries.
To be fair, I think Blake Pike actually, it wasn't seen by the umpire, was the initiator, but quite often it's always the retaliator who ends up getting it. Kicks it to centre wing, and it's all Hillwood. 3 players there. The mark is taken by Oldenoff. Big few minutes. Rochalee would not want to concede here. That wind looks like it may have picked up. It looks like it's blowing a little bit stronger. The end Hillwood are kicking to and driven forward, and we're going to get a ball up about 45 around from the goal.
It's Purdon. Geez, been terrific, Purdon.
Has.
Down back.
So ball up. 23.5 minutes gone. Third term. Hillwood leading by 16 points. Hope you're enjoying the coverage. The 2023 grand final. Cousins somehow gets through, gets onto that left boot, gets good distance, good purchase on the ball. Brown almost pulled in a spectacular mark. Good bump on the ball. And Mac Blaisley seen over there. Good bump there from pitch up. And we're going to boundary throw in right in front of the Hillwood fence. Interchange bench. Rob, we spotted Isaac Thompson still on the bench at the moment.
I think
he might be.
Can't see him.
Throw in.
On the ground. Yeah, he's on the bench. I've just seen him there now.
So kick off the ground. Kick there by Lachlan Holton. 15 years of age. Caden Cox-Goodgers had a good third quarter as well. The left foot. Good one. Handball. Now Bannister could have the journey here. Kicks it long and low. Not a bad idea. Tackle. How's the umpire going to see it? He's taking a while. And quite often, when you take a while, it could mean holding the ball, but not this time. So we're going to have a ball up. It's only 15 metres out from goal. 24.5 minutes played, third term. Bannister couldn't get boot ball. Here he is, Brown kicks a goal. The goal sneak. He's got his first of the afternoon. And approaching three-quarter time, the margin is back to 10 points. 7-4, 46 Hillwood. And Rochalee move on to 4-12, 36. And playing his role well. Look at this, Rob Soward. Good work from Bannister. Didn't get the hands in the back. And as a great rover should do, Zane Brown pounced on it, had a bit of space to come through and kicks his first of the afternoon.
And that'll give him a stack of confidence, Zane. He's a confidence player. He's so important to them. And as we've said, he can break a game open. But that breeze has got up. Rochalee's got it in the last quarter. Rick Fontaine, Michael Maney, we have got a game on our hands.
At the 8-minute mark of the second quarter, Hillwood led by 33 points. Now it's back to 10. Handball out into space. They've got spring in their step. They're really having a decent crack here. The umpire's not going to pay that as deliberate. It'll be a ball in. So here we go. Almost 26 minutes gone. Suddenly, 10 points the margin. It was 25 points at half-time. So they've pegged it back, have Rochalee. Have attacked it right from the get-go in this quarter. Pearce, quick little kick. Almost a mark. Taken. And we just have some breaking news for our total football audience everywhere. The legend that is Ron Barassi has passed away. So Ron Barassi has passed away. Just getting some news through, breaking news, that the great Ron Barassi is no longer with us.
That is very, very sad news indeed.
As the ball goes inside 50 by Digney, close to the line, it'll be a ball in. And I guess we don't have too much time to reflect on that. There's a grand final to be played here, but we just thought we would pass that information on.
So boundary throw in. Hal Hillwood would love a goal here at the 27-minute mark now, the third quarter. Rochalee will be desperate to not concede. Cousins, he's had a great third term, and it's going to be a holding decision. I think it's going to go the way of Rochalee. It is. And it's going to come back to a man, Rob, who's had a great third quarter, Jack Rushton.
Yeah, it's always good as a commentator when you flag someone, Rick, and they just completely play over their skin, and he's certainly done that, Jack, but it's critical if Rochalee are going to get over the line.
Stone finds his teammate there out on the outer side here of UTAS Stadium. The short kick comes in board, and they're just content to slow it down a little bit here. Rochalee, Braden Pitcher in no hurry, but gets the hurry up from the umpire and has to play on now. And a bit of an up and under kick, hugging the boundary line. There we go. There's the siren for three-quarter time. Well, what a quarter from the City Tigers. Rochalee kicked 3 goals, 3 for the term to Hillwood. One solitary goal with a pretty strong breeze. And at three-quarter time, it's Hillwood 7-4-46, leading Rochalee 4-12-36. Some quick thoughts from Rob Soward here at three-quarter time.
Well, we talked at half-time, didn't we, about what Rochalee had to do, and that's exactly what they did. They, got more out of those on-ballers we've talked about. Cousins, Ponting, Rushton we've talked about up forward. Brown kicked a goal. Dakota Bannister, I think, has been terrific in the ruck. For Hillwood, they sort of went into their shell a bit, really, didn't they? I mean, that way that defence was working wasn't working for them as well this quarter. They weren't getting as much out of their forwards. So we've got a game on our hands after 9 months of hard work. We've got 25 minutes or so to see who will emerge victorious. I'm not sure who's going to be there. We'll see after the break.
So since quarter time, it's been 13 scoring shots to 2 Rochalee's way. Extraordinary numbers, but of course Hillwood had a fantastic first quarter. Scoreboard pressure as well, 5 goals, 4. So three-quarter time here, goal kickers for the leaders. Hillwood 2 each to Wilkinson, both early, and Digney, and singles to Templar, Whitmore and Thompson. Josh Holton for Rochalee has kicked 3, including his 1,000th career goal, and Zane Brown with a late one for the Tigers. Time for a quick break. Don't go anywhere. Can't wait for the last quarter. Join us shortly.
Harcourts, more than just real estate professionals.
It's a state of mind. Dreaming big. Unearthing possibilities. Identifying potential. We Tasmanians thrive on this. It's what makes us different. It's what drives us to succeed. Together, we can embrace the future. MCMF and us. A state of opportunity.
Hi, I'm Ray Chamberlain, and here are the top reasons why you should become an AFL umpire. You love intellectual conversations.
I know you're not. No, I said. And you said no.
Everybody knows you need help with your anger management issues.
We don't talk to one another like that. Oh, it's okay.
You just can't keep up with the young ones any longer.
This run down.
Because you like to get paid to keep fit.
Blow your whistle, show your decision, show your good strong signals, then get on your bike and go.
It's the best game in the world.
About to go in the final quarter of the 2023 Premier Division Grand Final in the NTFA. And what a comeback it's been from Rochalee. Dead and buried almost at half-time. They trailed by 25 points and they weren't going at all. But then somehow they booted 3 goals to 1 in that term to reduce it back to 10 points, and they kick with a strong breeze in the final term. That could be the key. But Rochalee against that breeze, booting 3 goals to 1. So goals can be scored to that opposite end, to the left of screen. Here we go, the grand final. Will Rochalee be able to keep the momentum going? Out of the ruck, Bannister, handball to Cousins. And the umpire said it was a throw. So the free kick coming back to Leedham. They were on a roll there. Cousins was going on his right boot. This is non-preferred. Here's Leedham, shallow inside 50. Ball knocked away from Digney. Now taken by Caden Cox-Goodger. And that ball's going to float out of play on the full. And it'll come back in. Rob Soward. Gee, the first goal of this last quarter is important.
It's critical. I mean, Hillwood would want it to try and stem that Rochalee momentum, but Rochalee get that, and all of a sudden, you can imagine the support they've got here going bananas.
And backing back and taking the mark is Stone. So Stone with the footy. Just waiting for things to open up, and he wants to drop it down the line. Long kick, up they fly. No one can take the mark. Opportunity here for Pitcher. Kicks it long. Brown couldn't quite take it. Here's Pitcher, I should say. Now tried to go off the ground. Ball close to the line. In goes Brown, nice and low and hard. And it'll be a ball in. So things starting to happen for Rochalee, but they've made it happen. As the ball comes back into play. It might have been Hawkins, the man who got that long kick in just a second ago. And now a free kick, and it's going to Cousins. So didn't see what that was for. Rick, you might have had your eagle eye on that.
Sorry, I just saw the umpire blow the whistle pretty quickly, but didn't actually see what it was for. So
we might go back to it shortly, but we'll stick with this live now. Here's Cousins. He's going to kick from about 47. It's a good-looking kick. It just wobbled away, and they've got it under double figures. So it is now 9 points the margin. The Cousins kick just fades away. So 7-4, 46. 4:13, I should say, 37.
So the Hillwood skipper, Zach Oldenoff, with all the time in the world, runs his full measure, kicks it long to the outer side. Nice mark there taken by Archie Wilkinson. Haven't called his name too often since quarter time. He might be a bit sore here too. He looks like he might just be favouring that right ankle. We might just get you to keep a little bit of an eye on him there, Rob. And that's a nice mark taken by Digney. A couple of goals as well, he and Wilkinson in the first quarter. So Digney will kick it to half forward. And really only one player wanted that ball. And pretty easy mark in the end taken by Bassett. Here's Richards, the captain. Now they've got players on here on the near side. Presenting. Cousins will run all day. He'll have a bounce. Left foot kick is a beauty to Bannister, who can play on from 55 out. It's across the face of goal. It's going to trickle out of bounds. Holton can't get there. In pursuit was Jesse Warren. And we'll have a boundary throw in.
It's like circle work when you watch the way they switch that ball back. I mean, they just look dangerous when they get out and do that. Hillwood will have to take that away from them, or else they're going to be in big trouble.
3.5 minutes played, final term. Margin 9 here in the grand final for 2023. It's a flat throw in. Leadham gets it. Might be content to see it through. No, the handball does come out. Here's McLean, tackled. Thompson, good to see him back out on the field. Kicks it into his own man, McLean as well. It's near the boundary, and we've got a free kick. It's been picked out. It's going to be a Rochalee one. Jake Pearce looks inquisitively at the umpire, but it was a holding decision.
They plucked a few just of recent times that haven't really been able to see.
And here they come running around. Rushton kicks it long. I reckon he's got it. That is a magnificent kick, and the margin is 3 points at UTAS Stadium. Rochalee with all the momentum in this second half, Rob Soward, and they can sniff it.
Well, as they say, Rick, and I know you're a massive soccer fan, as the old English soccer commentators used to say, you just can't write scripts like this. If you'd have been here early doors at quarter time, it was Hillwood, Hillwood's flag. They were all over them, but Rochalee have clawed their way back in. They've fought their way back in. I had a message come through a moment ago. People like to let you know what's going on. Sawyer, he's let me know he loves the big cats, he reckons. So he reckons they're going to be right. Good on you, Sawyer. Thanks for your message. 3 points, all the difference here.
It was 33 at the 8-minute mark of the second quarter, as you called, Michael Maney.
Yes. Now back to 3. Here's Bannister. He's been a catalyst for them, been terrific all day, Bannister. His kick is going to be chopped off here. It's been marked by Boyd. Boyd goes in short, that's okay, finds Donnelly. Donnelly in the centre of UTAS, toward the back end of the centre. Goes short, the kick is precise to Boyd. Boyd keeps it low. Oh, wonderful play by Stone. Put his body on the line. In they go. Long was there. He's crocodile rolled across and no free kick. Ball up. The lights in effect here at UTAS Stadium. It was a 30-point lead to Hillwood at quarter time, 25 at half time, and just 10 at three-quarter time. The boys from out Rochalee way have come with a rush in that third quarter, and they've put themselves in a position, kicking with the breeze, that they might just be able to snatch this grand final. Up it goes. In the ruck there was Templar. Taylor just knocks it forward. Jeffries hasn't been able to get back into the game. He was okay early, but has faded away, as too as some of his teammates in that third term, and a ball up.
The goals have just dried up for him. I mean, Rick Fontaine was talking off air at three-quarter time, Michael. They've just had no avenue to goal, Hillwood, have they?
No, they haven't. Up goes Templar. Cousins in the ruck. They've persisted with that for most of the day. And maybe that is task A for the selectors, to get a big ruckman if they can. That'll assist them no end. So Hillwood about 20 metres out from goal. Little snapping ball by Donnelly is a behind. It's a 4-point margin. Donnelly just missing away to the right. 5:47 plays 5:13. 43.
Look at Jack Rushton go, gets onto that boot, took the mark, and he's away immediately. And that's a terrific contested mark there from Jake Smith. And they'll play on quickly, the Tigers. Coming inboard, Bannister has time to pick it up. Not a lot of options, but goes with the right one in the end. They just look full of running at the moment. Smith, Cox Goodjup, that's Andrew. He'll go inside 50. And that's very well done by the skipper, Zach Oldenoff. And an important relieving mark for the Sharks in the defensive 50 for Hillwood. Zach Oldenoff. Is it long? And that's no mark, and a good decision by the umpire. First hands on the ball there, I think it was Templar. So we're going to ball up. Leadham thumps it towards the boundary line. Centre wing position. It's a big run on and handballed over and out of bounds. So the lights taking full effect here at UTAS Stadium. Boundary throw in. Centre wing, margin 4 points, 8 minutes played, final term. Leadham has front position, lovely tap there to his teammate in Pearce, the coach, almost a mark taken, strong tackle, umpire letting it go, pinned to Richards now, and we're going to ball up just forward of the centre, Hillwood's way.
Just get the feeling, you know, if Rochalee hit the front, I reckon that's it. I don't reckon they're going to get him. So Hillwood need the next goal.
Up it goes. Leadham and Bannister. Well, Leadham just out of mid-air. Richards didn't want to take the mark. Here's the Hoffman. Little ground ball. Nicely done. It's away to Boyd. And it'll be another ball up. Let's go, boys, up the Tigers from Aj Kirk. Oh, no, bring it home, Rochalee, Pearl Galvin. Terrific response from our audience. And the ball is at a stalemate.
So brought to you the coverage today by Jeremy Wilkinson from Harcourts Launceston. Hope you're enjoying it. Great to have many people watching from all over the show. Here in Tasmania, interstate and overseas as well. And Wilkinson kicks it deep into attack, bounces off Richards near the boundary line and trickles out of bounds off Blake Pike's body. And we'll get a boundary throw in around about 10 metres around from the Hillwood goal. The right forward pocket. Hillwood heading to the northern end in this final quarter. Boundary throw in. Cousins and Pearce this time in the ruck. Tuddill tackled. Pearce gets a head ball out. It's where the leaders stand up so often. Jeffries gets a handball out. Gang tackled. They just are so desperate. Rochalee's defence working brilliantly. Kick comes out. Richard. Oh, that's a great mark. Luke Richards, terrific mark there. Hotly pursued by Purdon. So Richards has been so solid in defence for many years, this man, and he's leading well. Kick comes out wide. No mark taken there. Fell short of Smith, but he's got time. Caden Cox-Goodger kicks it to half forward. Brown leads the race of the ball. Look out over the top. Almost got through to the gap, did pitch up. But it's in Rochalee's attacking zone. Full of running at the moment. Come on the Sharks. This Kendall King. Yep, it's game on. All the fans here. Come on the City Tigers. Brandon Krushka. Fans are right into it. Isn't it great to have a grand final where we've got a great contest on our hands, Rob Sowd? Two best teams of the year putting on a great show.
I was a bit worried early after that first quarter. I mean, terrific football that Hillwood played, but you come to see a contest in your showpiece game, don't you?
Unable to really get a clear punch away there was Leadham, but Hillwood do come out of defence. There's Rushton. He's had a great second half. He's trying to get it out, but it's not going to come loose. He's besieged upon there by Whitmore and also Isaac Thompson, and we'll get a ball up 60 out from Rochalee's goal.
I love Rushton's work. He's been outstanding. You'll get it here too now. Rushton, little kick inside, almost to the bootlaces of pitcher. Couldn't take it. The tackling. Here's Hawkins. Hawkins now. It's a check side and couldn't quite get enough work on it, but it is now 3 points the margin. And that is as close as it's ever been.
You get the impression, Michael, that Hillwood's really feeling the pressure, like just belting it out like that quickly. It's only going to come back with interest on it, isn't it?
Yeah, no doubt. They are under pressure. So Camplin wants to get it as far away as he can, but that ball holds up in the breeze. That's significant. Free kick will go to McLean surely for a head-high tackle. No.
I was on the wrong side, I think. He just about Wurzel gummaged him there. He almost ended up with a spare head.
Yep, look at that.
Yep.
Right across young Holton.
Good call, Rob. He was just out of position, didn't see it.
Lead them down. They can't catch everything. They've been okay. Camplin. Now back to Thompson. Little quick kick away. That was nicely done by Templar. Now it ends up with Taylor. Taylor's little kick to Jeffries. He's got to get a handle on this. Can't quite pick it up. Well done by Long. Now rushed and handball back to Richards. Missed the target. Now handball back to Hoffman. So it's a throw. Ooh, tough call. Richards has got the free kick. Normally good by foot. Richards says, come to me. What are you doing? Need to get it moving. Here he goes. Goes long. He's got a player out in a bit of space. That's okay, and that's Pitcher. Pitcher goes long. He's going to hope for a mark here. Brown trying to do the crumbing. Holton! What a hero he could be. He got them back in the game. He booted their first 3 goals, and here he is, just the body work, just pushed off his man, and
did it well.
That was Warren, and Holton has got free. Going for goal number 4. From 30 metres out, slight angle. Direct approach. He has kicked the goal.
They're in front.
And they're in front. Rochalee are in front, and they get to Holton. Josh Holton. A 3-point lead now to Rochalee, and all of a sudden, Hillwood under enormous pressure, and the scoreline is a 3-point margin in favour of Rochalee. Who would have thought, Rob Sauer?
Oh, look, you wouldn't have done if you'd been here at quarter time, but they've just worked their way back into it, and Hillwood's just stopped. Their system's just broken down, but this is the time you need your leaders to stand up. Jake Pearce, Hamish Leadham, they're on ballers. They need to get first hands on and give their forwards a look at it.
Oh, and having the crowd are showing some voice now, not just those on the live stream watching, but it is game on, and here they come. Richards, what a last quarter he's had. Great smother there from Thompson. Handball comes out wide. Players throwing themselves. Quick hit by Tuddill, and it's out of bounds on the full. So, relieving free kick. Bit of a shower sweeping across. It looks a bit threatening over Mowbray, but we just see a very light drizzle, almost misty drizzle here. We've crossed 15 and a half minutes in the final term. Here's Bannister. Could get the handball off to Rushton. Decides to go inside 50. Brown couldn't take possession of the ball. Now he's got a chance. There's no one in front of him. Zane Brown just needs to pick it up. He does. He's tackled. Great tackle from the Hillwood defence. Desperation. Cox Goodger's there too. Oh, this is great stuff from both teams. They are desperate. There's probably just over 10 minutes remaining in this grand final. Rochalee in front for the first time today by 3 points. Bannister does well to not push. Jordan Cousins directly in front has kicked a goal! Rochalee kick clear here by 9 points. They are storming home, Rob Sauer. 7-14-56 to Hillwood. 7-5-47.
It's a clear reason why you don't play him in the ruck when you've got someone who is as skillful as that. If you watch this replay here, Bannister takes it out of the air, gives it by hand to Cousins, all alone. How do you leave Jordan Cousins all alone at a stoppage 35 metres out from goal? So it's all to do now for Hillwood. The momentum has just swung like you would not believe. It's been all Rochalee.
As the showers sweep across the ground, 9 points the difference in favour of Rochalee. And they might just get it out of the centre again through Bannister, who gets poleaxed. Thompson with a little handball. Now Cousins with that left foot is a real weapon. Kicks inside 50. Oldenoff hasn't got much of a charge on him. Well done. Here's Suter. Kick was smothered. Well done by Oldenoff. Taken by Cox Goodyer of the Andrew variety. He kicks long. No mark taken. Hillwood under enormous pressure. What a ramrod that was from Long with the tackle. The ball just skids along the turf. And will it be insufficient intent? No, it'll be a boundary throw in. Wow.
Look at this.
That
great
is
contest.
Just unbelievable as Tuttle copped it straight up the strip. Up goes Leadham, missed the ball. Little handball out. Hillwood under pressure. Blaisley got it away to Jeffries. Jeffries didn't even look. Just got it forward as time is ticking away. 18 minutes gone in the last quarter, and Richards has got the cramp, I think.
That's been the tail of their probably last quarter and a half. Hillwood, it's just been blazing away. That structure and setup that they showed beautifully early, it's just been tucked away by Rochelee's pressure.
So Leadham just took it from the ball in. Rushton, who's been pivotal in their comeback. Ponting couldn't quite take the ball cleanly, and it is out of play. Well, what a turnaround in this grand final.
Remarkable. Rochelee, as we mentioned earlier, trailed by 33 points at the 8-minute mark of the second quarter, and now lead this grand final by 9 points. 19 minutes played now. Hillwood need 2 goals against the breeze. Light showers persisting here at UTAS Stadium. Hamish Leadham, hands on the knees, up against Cousins. They negate each other. Great work from Caden Cox-Goodger. And that's a very good mark taken by the skipper in Oldenoff. They've got to hurry up. Sensing it as well, out wide. Chance here for Taylor. Tackled straight away brilliantly by Stone, but they're on here. Here's Thompson for Hillwood. Got to score from this passage of play, you'd think. Great work for the defence. They're working overtime. Great play. Rochelee come out of defence. Ball still pinned in there. Shepherding. Here's Rushton. Good work from Caden Cox-Goodger off the ball as well. Getting the contest. Oh, up a little bit too early. And that's going to be a free kick. Probably one of the easier decisions of the day for the umpire. Andrew Cox-Goodger
on.
pleading the case there, but it's going to be a free kick here to Brad Templer and Andrew Cox-Goodger. I don't reckon he's been up that high for a while, but he'd be feeling pretty good at the moment. They lead the way, and here's the mark taken by Templer. 1 goal for the afternoon. Brad Templer for Hillwood. Kicks towards 50. Off hands, Cousins reads it well. Gets a lovely handball over the top there to Purdon. Big contest here. 40 out, Rushton. Now, opportunity to run away with it. Here's Darren Lowe. Started on the bench, kicks to half forward. That's great work in front. Strong mark by Pitcher. He'll kick to full forward. Big contest. Holton's got it. And he won't be in a hurry. Well, he's kicked it from all angles today, Michael Maney. And this one, well, this might be one of the most important kicks of his 1,002 goals that he's kicked in his career, Michael Maney.
Wow.
What a way this would be to bring the curtain down on your career.
Well, he knows how to kick a goal, this bloke. He's kicked over 1,000 of them. So this is from a similar position that he kicked his last goal.
Holton will let the crowd tell the story. They tell the story. It's a goal, and it's going to be hard to peg them back now. That's 5 for Josh Holton in the grand final. 7-14-56. Sorry, 8-14-62 plays 7-5-47. What a game he's played.
He has. He's got a handful now, but just been outstanding throughout his career for Rochelee. Today, when they needed them, I think, as you quite rightly said, he just stood up. He just stood up. And, Hillwood just haven't had an answer to him, particularly when they get that ball in so quickly. His impact on this game has been incredible.
Holton with 5 goals in an amazing performance. Bannister has been terrific. Ponting and Cousins, their leaders, have really stepped up in the second half, and that's what they wanted. So they lead by 15 points. Crazy stuff in the grand final. Lead them. They might have just run out of legs, Hillwood. Because Rochalee are pushing and pushing hard. Andrew Cox-Goodyer. Oh, just ducked away. A little skimming ball is okay to Pitcher. What's Pitcher got in front? He might want to go to Holton again. He's saying, no, I'm going to have a big ball burster at it. From outside 50, so they're confident.
He's got the leg too, having seen him do similar things at Windsor Park, Michael. He certainly got the leg, but chewing up every second of time.
23 minutes gone. Pitcher gets under the kick a little bit, but it'll still get to the square. It just bounces over the back for a behind. Now it's 16 points the difference. 23 minutes gone. Been handy for them, Pitcher today. Oldenhoff with a kick straight up the middle, and that's where they need to go, but it could come back. Here's Richards. Templar in there. Little handball out by Boyd. Tuttle tries to run onto the footy. Grabs it now, but they grab him. Stoppage. We've had some goals in this last quarter, and they've all been from Rochalee. They've kicked 4 goals to zip in this term, and they've kicked 7 goals to 1 in the second half. What a turnaround. Didn't see it coming.
No, you couldn't see it coming after that first quarter.
Pearce out of the congestion, and the ball rolls out of play in front of Kurt Burling. As Josh Ponting said, he is the heart and soul of the footy club. Mentioned that in the record today. On the verge of a premiership, the Tigers. We didn't think we'd be saying that. Leadham been fantastic. Caden Cox-Goodyer has been terrific for the Tigers as well. The younger Lockie Holton tried to knock that forward. Pitcher has got Blaisley in a vice-like grip.
There's some great Rochalee names. I know we talked off air a few times, but Burling, I mean, gee whiz. There's some great Burlings played in those terrific sides back in the 80s and 90s. And the young fella here today is going to emerge a premiership player.
Comments from Rob Soward with thanks to Jeremy Wilkinson from Harcourts, Launceston, the Tassie Agent of the Year, 5 years running. Murdoch Clark Mortgage Fund, Launceston and Hobart, and the Athlete's Foot, Brisbane Street, Launceston. Great supporters. And the Tiger chant has gone up. Up goes Cousins in the ruck. Tried to knock it down to Rushton, whose second half has been as good as anyone on the ground. And we will get another ball up. Time ticking away, 25 and a half gone. 4 goals to zip in this final term. Beaten in last year's grand final, Rochalee. Bit of power of work to get back in. Smith, high kick. Oldenhoff couldn't take the mark, and he's hurt his ankle again, Oldenhoff. McLean gets the free. And then Andrew Cox-Goodyer stands in the way. Normally good by foot. Just gets it out in front of his teammate in Pitcher, but it rolls out of play. But they won't mind that. The Tigers. 26 minutes gone in the grand final.
We've got a streaker, Michael Maney.
A streaker, have we? Absolutely brilliant. Still got his undies on, though, I think.
I'm watching who's got the pace here. I'm sort of... I reckon he's got the security guy covered.
Yep, he's just stewing him off like having a fly buzzing around. And he's fallen over, and that's it. He's done.
He's all over Rover.
It's a semi-streaker. Didn't have the courage to go all the way.
It's a bit cold out there. I'd probably be leaving him on too, I reckon. It's just a little distraction here at the end of the game.
Yeah, he's still flat out. There he is. The old replay. Back to the footy. Leadham. Jeffries. Kick around the corner. Cox Goodyear couldn't take the mark. Goes back in hard. Young Pike's been really good for them off half-back too, hasn't he? He's done his job extremely well.
Yeah, they've had winners all over the ground, Michael, but Pike's played a very, very good game.
8:15.63. The 7:5.47. Taken out of there. Beautifully done by Tuttle. The handball away. Now to Thompson. Thompson, little handball over the top to Taylor. Taylor thought about using Wilkinson. Little chip kick is smart. Wilkinson's kick 2. Lines them up and threads goal number 3. It's back to 10 points. Will it be too late? Can they get another couple of goals? As we've ticked into the 28-minute mark of the grand final. And a third goal to Archie Wilkinson. He kicked 2 goals in the first quarter and hasn't been able to get on the board till now again with his third.
Yeah, too late she wrote, I think we'll find here for Hillwood supporters. But a great goal from Archie Wilkinson. You know, 3 goals in the grand final. I thought he's been really, really good for the Sharks.
So Wilkinson kicking that goal at the 28-minute mark, back in the centre. Bannister tries to take it out of the ruck, taken by Ponting. Ponting says, we want another goal. He goes to Brown. Ball knocked away by Oldenoff, who's really just labouring. Can't get in the contest. Brown with a little kick forward. And Holton can't take the mark. Under a bit of pressure there from the number 30 in Jesse Warren.
They've certainly been dealt a pretty tough hand with Oldenoff. I mean, losing him early to that ankle, I mean, he's not been right for 3.5 quarters, but take nothing away from Rocher Lee. They've just been outstanding in this second half.
Pain relief's wearing off, I'd say. Lead them. There's the siren. And Rocher Lee have come from nowhere to pinch this grand final. Hillwood led by 30 points at quarter time. 25 points at half time. It was whittled down to 10 at 3/4 time. And then the turnaround as Rocher Lee pulled away, and they win by 10 points to win their first grand final since 2016. And they hug and embrace. What a game of football that was. Well, dead and buried, Rob Soward. You'd have to say Rocher Lee at half time. And from nowhere, they've produced something special.
Yeah, beautifully captured, Michael. I mean, you know, not in your wildest dreams after what you saw in that first quarter, and particularly the first half. Hillwood were just winning all over the ground. Rocher Lee couldn't string. We mentioned that a few times. They couldn't string sequences of play together. They were breaking down all over the place, but, you know, they just kept working. And one of the things we all know up here in northern Tasmania about Rocher Lee and the Rocher Lee Football Club is the character of the organisation, the great support they've got and belief of their team and their wider community. And it came out in spades in that second half. And I mean, without sounding ridiculous, if they'd played another quarter, they would have extended their margin because they were just running away from Hillwood, who were fantastic in the first quarter, but tapered off badly as the game went on.
Goal umpires just off shot to give the all clear for the score. 8-5-53 Hillwood to 8-15-63 Rocher Lee. Goal scorers for the winners. Josh Holton got 5, including his 1,000th career goal, which is something really special. Then singles to Rushton, Cousins and Brown. And for the Hillwood Sharks, Archie Wilkinson with 3, Nash Digney got 2, and then singles to Brad Templer, Andrew Whitmore and Isaac Thompson. Both teams kicking 8 goals, but Rocher Lee take out this grand final, and they are still embracing as they should. The Hillwood players, well, they're being, I guess they'd be devastated. You're always devastated when you lose a grand final. But from up here, I could not see for the life of me how Hillwood would be beaten in this game. Rocher Lee just were bereft of ideas in the first half. But I don't know what Josh Ponting said to them at half time. Didn't make too many structural changes, to be honest. But out in the second half they came. and they booted. What did they boot? They had 1-9 at half-time.
Yeah.
So after half-time, they booted 7 goals 6 to 2 goals 1 to pinch this grand final.
Yeah, and it wasn't just the scoring, Michael, and the dominance in that. They just dominated all over the ground. They just took over the game, and it was played on their terms. You and I have probably watched a bit of football between us over the years, and you can't think of too many games that just turned around like that, can you?
No. And I think I said in the call when Rick was here, did not see it coming at all. And sometimes they're the best games, aren't they?
Yeah.
Where someone just comes back, a team comes back after being absolutely dead and buried, and they get up and win. Rochalee, their first premiership since 2016. Hillwood, well, they need to buckle up, do a pre-season, and come at it again in season 2024.
Yeah, well, Rochalee would have been hurting from last year. I mean, I think it'd be fair to say, and I know they wouldn't mind me saying it, Longford probably started favourites in that grand final last year. Rochalee had a few chances during the game, but Longford were deserved winners. So they've hung on to that for a year, Michael Maney.
Yep.
And tonight's their night.
Yes, you get a shot at redemption, you've got to take it. And they have had to do it the hard way. I think the Rochalee side had to take a longer route. They were beaten by South in the qualifying final by 16 points. They defeated last year's premiers Longford in a redemption game of sorts in the first semi by 26. Then they really got motoring against South Launceston, winning by 35 points in the prelim. So Rick Fontaine is just addressing. We'll go down to Rick in just a few moments when everything gets settled. I'm just waiting for some of the spectators to remove themselves from the ground so that we can just have players and officials and invited guests onto the arena.
I just saw there Jeff Skeggs from the NTFA passing over to Josh Holton and his wife Angela. The ball that he kicked his 1,000th goal with, which is a really nice touch. Skeggsy, well done. And Josh Holton, not too many people can say they play.
Here's Rick.
Now, but what a showcase of NTFA Premier Division football this afternoon. An outstanding contest from Rochalee and a brilliant contest from the Hillwood Football Club as well. Can we please give a big round of applause to both of our teams this afternoon? I'd like to firstly invite Scott Hill, representing our naming rights partner Bogues, to come forward to present medals to our senior umpires. So if we could have a representative from our umpiring fraternity to come forward and receive your medallions. Thank you. Congratulations, boys. Well done to the team. Thank you. As we said, brilliant contest. You could have thrown a blanket over the top 5 as we headed into the finals this year. 2 very worthy grand finalists. Rochalee coming out on top, but Hillwood have had a tremendous season. Congratulations to you, and I would like to invite Coach Jake Pearce to come forward and say a few words, please.
First off, I'd just like to thank the NTFA, a cracking year of footy. It's been unreal. To the Rochalee boys, I have plenty of respect for you lads. You never gave up. I know you had some sore boys. Unreal, enjoy it. The best thing about it is you look what you've done. You brought a community together and it's massive, so enjoy it. Huge credit. Thanks also to the umpires. To our boys, it hurt, but same with you. We brought a community together. We were disrespected over the last couple of years, and we come back and we've earned a bit of respect from the competition. So, thank you very much. Cheers. Enjoy.
Thanks very much to Jake Pearce. Well done to you, and well done to your team. Well done to your football club. Premiers 2019, and have had a fantastic year. I'm going to invite Scott Hill once again from Bogues, who's going to present the medal for the player to be judged best on ground in this grand final. And it was a very tight call There were 3 or 4 players right in the mix, and in the end, the judges have decided to award Best on Ground for 2023. He's had a big day, Josh Holton. Congratulations, Josh. And a massive congratulations. I think most of the people here in the stadium this afternoon knows very historic moment for you personally. 5 goals, but also 1,000 career goals. I think you're finishing with 1,003. So wonderful for you, and obviously to be doing it out here with your son. Congratulations. All right. It is time now to present our premiership medals, and I'm going to invite Nick Dygan, Liberal member for Windermere, to do the honours, and Doc Scott to present the Bogues caps to our premier players for 2023. And first of all, we'll get him back up here again. Number 1, Josh Holton. Another player at a terrific game this afternoon, number 3, Jack Rushton. Also a really impressive game. He was right in the mix for best player as well, I might add. Number 4, Dakota Bannister. Number 5, Jacob Hawkins. Number 7, Andrew Cox-Goodger. Number 9, Jordan Cousins. Wearing number 11, Caden Cox-Goodger. Number 13, Jake Smith. Number 14, Samuel Suter. Next up, number 15, Zane Brown. Number 16, Kurt Burling. Number 17, Blake Pike. And the number 18 Guernsey is Taylor Stone. Number 21, Darren Lowe. Number 25 is Lachlan Holton. Next up, number 26, Braden Pitcher. Number 27, Cody Gardner. Number 31, Bailey Wells. Number 33, Luke Purden. Number 35, Braden Bassett. And let's hear it for the captain, number 10, Luke Richards. And finally, the coach, the player, let's hear it for Josh Ponting.
Firstly, to Jake and the Hillwood boys, absolute cracking game, boys. You've had a tremendous year. Obviously, you won the minor premiership, and we knew we were coming in underdogs, and you give us a run for our money, especially in that first half. You were running all over us, so credit to you, boys. Stick together, keep building. I know what Jake's building down there, and the community's completely behind you, so well done to you guys. To all of our sponsors that get us on the park, thank you very much. We appreciate that and appreciate what you do for us. To Gardy, Scooby, Carol and all the committee that have stuck behind us and put this team out here in front of us, thank you very much for having full faith in us. And lastly, to my beautiful wife and kids, we did it. I know I probably haven't been the best person to be around for the last week because there's been a fair bit going into this game, but super proud of my boys and the way you went about it, and you deserve every bit of it, boys. Well done.
Thanks very much to Josh Ponting. And ladies and gentlemen, a couple of formalities now, a couple of very important ones. I'm going to invite NTFA President Scott Rigby to come forward with a premiership flag. And it's a great pleasure to welcome Graham Gardner, the President of the Rochalee Football Club, to come and accept that on the club's behalf. There we go. Premiers for 2023. Congratulations, Graham, to you personally and obviously to the Rochalee Football Club. Now, ladies and gentlemen, our final duty this evening, and we're going to invite a legend of the Rochalee Football Club, Brian Bell, to come up to the stage, please, with the Premiership Cup. And Luke and Josh, if we could get you both to come up here as well, please. And we'll invite the great Brian Bell to make the presentation of the 2023 Premiership Cup to Luke and to Josh, and crown our premiers for 2023, Rochalee.